It was a benchmark victory for the rebuilding Miami program, 34-31 over West Virginia in Morgantown, their first win over a ranked team in nearly 2 seasons. It was also a breakout game for All-East running back Edgerrin James, 162 yards on the ground, another 59 receiving, and he scored 3 touchdowns. Boston College, led by running back Mike Cloud, about to become the Big East's all-time leading rusher. Currently, he is second to Texas' Ricky Williams in the national rushing totals. Last year up at Chestnut Hill, a double overtime game decided on Andy Crossland's extra point, giving Miami a 45-44 victory. It's Miami and Boston College coming up next here on Sports Channel. From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, Sports Channel presents Miami Hurricanes football. Tonight, the 25th ranked Hurricanes look to improve their record to 3-1 in the Big East when they take on the Eagles of Boston College. Hi, everybody, and a happy Halloween to you. I'm Frank Fort, along with John Congemian. For Halloween, we're going as a play-by-play guy and a football analyst. But, John, the forecast on this Halloween night here at the Orange Bowl is cloudy, and it has nothing to do with the weather.
That's true. Up above the Orange Bowl, it looks pretty good. But out of that BC locker room, Mike Cloud, that's what UM has to worry about. They have to keep that cloud out of the end zone. 11 touchdowns on the season. He's a slashing runner. Mike's goal at the beginning of the season, he wanted 2,000 yards. That's a lofty goal. But right now, he's second in the nation in rushing and first in the Big East Conference. Frankie's a slashing type of runner. He can make a hole when there is none, and he does a great job of finding running room in the inside between the tackles. Last year against Miami, he made him pay for a touchdown there. Look for him to have a big night again tonight for the Eagles.
Cloud, not the biggest running back you'll ever run across, but the offensive line for Boston College makes up for it. They are plenty big and arguably the best unit in the Big East.
Anytime that you look at your running back and he's having success, you have to credit that offensive line. They average 6'4.5", 306 pounds, and they've only allowed 5 sacks. They do a great job of protecting the quarterback, creating holes for that running game, and Mike Cloud, as we talked about, that could be a key tonight, Frank, this UM defense getting some consistency. They have to play big, that offensive line.
No doubt about it. Boston College, a high-powered offense, as is Miami's, and the Canes feeling a lot better about their offense after Edgerrin James' game last week up at West Virginia, a huge game for the All-Big East running back.
By far, Frank, the best game of his this season. This did a great job. 3 touchdowns. He got into the end zone 3 times, 221 total yards. He had 162 yards rushing, but I thought what was most impressive, 5 catches for 59 yards. They got that offense. They got the creation of a running back catching the football out of the backfield. Miami's been lacking in that area all season long. I thought Larry Coker did a great job of getting that into the Miami offense. That could be vital tonight.
And as for the Miami defense, when you look at the numbers, as it should be in the Miami defensive scheme, you got 2 linebackers as the leading tacklers, a couple of sophomores in Nate Webster and Dan Morgan. They'll have their hands full chasing Mike Cloud down tonight.
You can't mention one without the other. You see Webster and Morgan, 96 tackles. That leads the Big East Conference, 93 tackles for Nate Webster. They do a great job sideline to sideline. Now, streaks of their own. Kel Ripken broke his streak this year with the consecutive games. Dan Morgan, 13 consecutive games, at least 12 tackles. Just a great job. Both these linebackers, they complement each other terrifically.
And they do go sideline to sideline. Last year, it was a 45-44 game in double overtime. We may be in for some similar offensive fireworks. We'll be back with the opening kickoff at the Orange Bowl, Miami against Boston College, right after this. University of Miami football on Sports Channel is being brought to you in part by Bell South and its international family of customers. By Grand Prize Chevrolet Oldsmobile, located in Miami, where Jimmy Johnson does business. By Office Depot, business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense. By Citgo, depend on Citgo when it counts. By Hoover, nobody gets the dirt like Hoover, nobody. And by Mazda, come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants.
Your car is who you are. Whether you're a Suburban, a Mustang, or even a Wrangler, it's easy to find yourself at AutoNation USA. Here you can pursue happiness without regret, choice without confusion, value without haggling. So before you test drive another used car, test drive AutoNation USA.
Delta, British Airways, Northwest, KLM, United. All of these, in fact most of the world's major airlines, domestic and international, rely on this oil company for fuel. When it really counts, they seem to be the one to count on. With that in mind, what kind of gasoline do you think they'd make for your car? You'd be right. Citgo, when it counts.
Here at the Orange Bowl, it's Miami against Boston College. Big East football, Miami 4-2 overall, 2-1 in the conference. Boston College 3-4. They've lost 4 in a row. They are 2-2 in the conference. Boston College won the toss and deferred until the second half. They will kick off from right to left as you look at Butch Davis in his 4th season at the University of Miami. Coming off that huge win last week, John Congemi, and Butch warned us early in the week. The thing that the Canes have to do is avoid that letdown, because last week's win will be diminished if they can't take care of business the next couple weeks leading up to that Big East finale against Syracuse.
Tonight is most important, Frank. They have to take care of Boston College because the season is really set up the way they want to now. They have 3 games that they're supposed to win, that they're going to win if they play well, because Tom O'Brien's Boston College team, they're very depleted. A lot of injuries in that secondary, a lot of injuries, a disappointing loss to Navy. So Miami's got them right where they want them coming into the Orange Bowl.
John Matic will kick off. It's high and short. It'll be taken by the up back at the 24-yard line. That's Nick Williams. And Williams gets out across the 35 to the 37-yard line as he kept the feet churning. Frank Chamberlain, number 44 on the tackle, along with Scott Bradley, the backup linebacker. So Scott Covington leads the Hurricane offense on the field in good field position. Covington having a standout senior season so far, 58% completions with a 7-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Canes line up in the I with Nick Williams and Edgerrin James, the starting running backs. We'll take a look at the rest of the offense in a moment. James will bounce it outside to the 45, lost his footing, and then is dropped by number 24, Carlos Moore, the safety, a pickup of 3 on first down. Let's take a look at the rest of the Hurricane offense as they line up on this Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. Edgerrin James with a 5.5 yard per carry average, 6 touchdowns on the ground. The receivers, Bubba Franks caught 3 passes last week. Daniel doubling his season total. That's a good sign. Ty Wise having the best year of any Hurricane offensive lineman. 2nd and 7, and Bubba Franks jumps offside, and that'll cost Miami 5.
You mentioned his name, and there he goes, Frank.
Well, Daniel Franks had only 3 catches going into the West Virginia game last week, 2 of those for touchdowns. He caught 3 last week as the tight ends were much more involved in the offense last week. Mondrell Fulcher also caught a couple of passes, and that's an area where Miami may go back to.
The running backs and the tight end, we talked about it a lot early in the season. They have to find a way to get the football to that big target. He's 6'6", 245.
So after the 5-yard march off, it brings up a 2nd and 12 for the Hurricanes. Covington's first throw on the outside, complete to Reggie Wayne, and he gets up across the 45 to the 46-yard line before Ramon Johnson made the tackle, a sophomore out of Warrensville Heights, Ohio. Here's the BC defense. Chris Hovan, the nose guard, 8 tackles for losses, 2.5 sacks, their best defensive lineman. Among the linebackers, Andy Romanowski in for the injured Brian May. May did not make the trip, the starting inside linebacker. And in the secondary, George White is the playmaker. He has 1 interception and a couple of breakups, but it is a defense which has not fared very well so far this season. 3rd and 1 for the Hurricanes after a pickup of 11. This is Williams, the fullback, through a huge hole into BC territory. He gains 8 yards and picks up a Hurricane first down. Willie Wright, number 13, in on the stop for Boston College out of John's alma mater, St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale. You see, that was Nick Williams, only the 4th carry of the year, but he averages over 8 yards per pickup. So he doesn't touch it a lot, but when he does, he is effective.
He's very effective. That offensive front, Robert Hall and Richard Mercier on the left side, along with Ty Wise, really providing a huge hole. Great blocks.
13:53 to go first quarter, just underway. Covington again through the for Bubba Franks on the out pattern, but it was overthrown. The coverage from George White, the safety. And it's 2nd and 10 for Miami.
This might be an easy evening for Scott Covington and the outside receivers, especially you take a look there. Santana Moss, number 6, didn't have a catch last week against West Virginia. Take a look at him going down the field against these BC defenders, especially the corners. Looks like he has the speed to get by these guys.
2nd and 10 Miami following the incompletion. They're in their standard I set. Flanks the tight end to the left side of the formation. BC shows blitz and they come. Miami picks it up. Outside complete to Darryl Jones. He has a first down. Lost the football out of bounds at the Boston College 35-yard line, but it will be enough for a first down, a gain of 12. Coverage from Jonathan Ordway, the freshman out of Seffner Armwood High School in Florida.
Nice ride on the outside. Jones pushes. You see a lot of cushion on the outside. Covington comes back off the play action. Just a simple out route. 5 steps. He throws it to the outside. Now here's a case where Jones may be trying to do too much. He got a helmet right on the football that time. Jonathan Ordway getting a helmet in there, and luckily for the Canes, it bounces out of bounds.
The Canes move the sticks again. Their second first down. James through a small hole will pick up 5 or 6. Frank Chamberlain, a junior out of Mahwah, New Jersey, making the tackle. A good pickup on first down for the Canes. It'll bring up a 2nd and 4.
Frank, watching Edrin run last week, it looks like he's back on his game and where his vision is very good. That time there really wasn't a hole developing early. He waited that split second, then found a crease off the left tackle and squeezed his way for 6 yards.
2nd and 4 Miami, now at the BC 30-yard line. It's Williams, the fullback, in motion. And the give to James following Williams. James across the 30, near the 25-yard line. They'll mark him out just shy of the first down between the 26 and 27-yard lines. Willie Wright, the outside linebacker, senior from Fort Lauderdale, making the tackle.
That time Edrin ran about 20 yards to get maybe 2 or 3 yards. A tough running room. BC did a nice job of stretching that stretch play off tackle, off right tackle, outside. You see there, 577 yards. That leads all Cane rushers on 105 attempts.
3rd and 1 for Miami with 13:02 to go first quarter. Just underway on a Halloween night at the Orange Bowl. The pitch to James. Behind some good blocking, Edrin following his fullback, Nick Williams, down to the 15-yard line. That's a gain of 12 and a first down as George White, the safety, was forced to make the tackle on Edrin James.
The offensive line for Miami and fullbacks, they block better with this short toss play to the short side. Instead of that stretch play, get it to Edrin James quicker, let him read his blocks. Great kick-out block by the right tackle, Gonzalez, and then you see number 36, Nick Williams. All Edrin James does is say, hey, big fella, I'm going to follow you right behind you. You throw a block, and I'm cutting inside. And the Canes get it across the 20, close to the 15-yard line.
Nick Williams at 265 pounds is basically another offensive lineman. 1st and 10 at the 15. Covington on a quick look into Santana Moss at the 10. Moss trying to make a move, cannot get around Ordway, who takes him down at the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on first down.
Santana's used to a little bit tougher coverage. He thought someone may be on him when he caught that quick hitch. He made a move, but really faked himself out because he ran right into the defender. Watch this. He gets the ball so early with so much of a cushion, he thinks someone's going to be there, so he tries to make a move, but nobody's there. You see Ordway comes up number 28 from the corner position, but a nice throw and catch on the outside. You'll see a lot of that tonight, Frank.
2nd and 3 Miami at the BC 8. James, not much there, gets down to the 5-yard line and just probably shy of the first down. Willie Wright and Adam Grace making the tackle for the Boston College defense, and this is close enough that they will measure for the first down. 11:55 left to go first quarter. Miami taking the opening kickoff, starting at their own 37-yard line, and they've moved it into the red zone. And the referee will take an official timeout as the nose of the football is sitting just about at the 5-yard line. So it'll either be 1st and goal or 3rd and a couple of inches. Butch Davis talking on the sideline as they bring the chains out, and it is.
They're stretching that chain. It looks like they're coming up about a couple links short.
Somebody take a link or two out of that chain real quick.
I think they're going to remeasure this.
Well, these two teams played a wild one a year ago up in Chestnut Hill, 45-44, double overtime. First overtime game in Hurricane history, with Miami coming out on top. 2 years ago here at the Orange Bowl, Scott Covington made his first collegiate start in relief of an injured Ryan Clement and had an outstanding game, threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that's a game he kind of lived on through last year, keeping him going, saying, hey, if I get my chance, I know I can do the job. You look at the 3rd down conversions for Miami this season, not bad at 37%. We are in a scoreless ball game just underway at the Orange Bowl. It's 3rd and not even the length of the football for the Hurricanes. They line up in the double tight end formation. They give to James, trying to bounce outside, inside the 5, has the first down at the 2-yard line. Taken down by Andy Romanowski, the middle linebacker, but the Canes will have a 1st and goal. And now they'll bring in a 3rd tight end, Dan Smith, number 82.
Miami's got terrific rhythm going right now. That offensive line can run at will. You see Mercier on the pull out. Nice patience. Only had to go maybe an inch or two, but Edgerrin James takes a chance, goes outside, finds a hole off right tackle. Canes 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Miami trying to punch it in on the opening possession. Edgerrin James will try it. And he's tripped up, keeps the feet moving, and gets into the end zone. Edgerrin James, much like last week at West Virginia, he looked to be going down from that initial contact, but maintained his balance and scores from 2 yards out.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He's in the end zone. Great job, great balance by Edgerrin James. Looked like there was nothing there. Right over the center, a BC defensive lineman, I think it was Chris Hoven, number 95, really came unblocked and forced James to the right side, outside. He kept his balance and goes in for the Canes score. They're up 6-0.
Andy Crossland in to attempt the conversion. Pat Del Vecchio will snap. Jeff Popovich puts it down. Crossland's kick is up, and it is good. And with 11 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter, Miami jumps on top, 7-0. A second look at the touchdown run from Edgerrin James.
Watch a white shirt right in the middle of the football field coming outside. There you see him right there. It looked like number 98, Mike Willits, pushes Edgerrin James outside, and then you see the power and the strength of Edgerrin James right on the goal line, just delivering his left shoulder. Watch his pads get real low right here. He trips. He just throws his elbow up on number 28. It looked like Ordway on the right corner and scores the touchdown.
7-0 Miami, 11:28 to go 1st quarter. We'll be right back from the Orange Bowl.
The truck is here. Introducing the new Silverado. It's bigger. It's more powerful. It's the truck from Chevrolet.
Drink Coco Lopez fruit juices. Taste the tropics.
The Panthers take on the Islanders Monday night at 7.
11:28 left to go 1st quarter here at the Orange Bowl on a Halloween night. Frank Forth and John Kangemi, the ghost and the goblin of Sports Channel, here to bring you this football game. Here. Big East battle between Miami and Boston College. The Canes jumping on top on a 2-yard run by Edgerrin James.
Edgerrin James, great scoring drive by Miami. 12 plays, 63 yards. 2-yard run, only took 3 minutes and 32 seconds, but that moves Edgerrin James, along with Alonzo Highsmith and Eddie Dunn, into 4th place in the career for touchdowns with 25 career scores, and I'm sure he's happy to get right back to where he left off against West Virginia. Had a successful night rushing the football. That offensive line was dominant, and you see during the drive, Scott Covington and the outside receivers, they can throw it at will against BC tonight.
The receivers, Jermaine Walker, number 1, and Cedric Washington, number 35 for Boston College, as Todd Sievers, the freshman, prepares to kick it off for the Hurricanes. Miami jumping out to a 7-0 lead. Now we'll see what the special teams can do in the defense against this high-powered Boston College offense. Sievers hits it well. It's Walker at the goal line. Walker breaks through a hole, and Delvin Brown makes the tackle at the 24-25-yard line. Sievers there to help out, and that's where BC will start 1st and 10. The quarterback is a senior, Scott Mutrin, 6'3", 212 pounds, a senior from Middlesburg Heights, Ohio. So far completing 61.5% of his passes. And in 7 games, he has 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. A very good completion percentage, and that, of course, helped out by the tremendous running game with Mike Cloud, the tailback. On 1st and 10 from the 25. Cardio, the tight end, in motion. Give to Mike Cloud. Cloud looking for outside running room and cannot find much as Mike Smith, the outside linebacker, makes the tackle after a pickup of 3. Boston College with one of the bigger offensive lines you will see, certainly the biggest and maybe the best in the Big East Conference. Mike Cloud, the senior out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island, already over 1,100 yards, second in the country in rushing at this moment. Anthony DeCosmo seems like he's been at this school for about 12 years.
That's right.
He has 30 catches to lead the BC receivers. And among the offensive line, Doug Brzezinski, a senior from Livonia, Michigan, is huge, and he is good and probably will be playing on Sundays. Gain of 3 on first down. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles. Neutron with his first throw. Under pressure from Derek Ham, and Derek Ham picks up sack number 8 on the season. Just an outside rush, out-quicking the offensive tackle.
Derek Ham, just a great job on the outside. You said, Frank, his 8th sack of the season. Just a terrific job. He's showing his athleticism the last couple of weeks. Watch him on the right corner, just speed rush. He just uses his arms and his hands and his strength to the outside and gets Mutrin by the left ankle. Just a terrific effort by number 71, Derek Ham.
That'll bring up 3rd and 19. A huge loss on the 2nd down play all the way back to the BC 16-yard line. And 3rd and long. Cloud, the lone running back. Mutrin looking to throw again. Pocket collapsing, he runs out of it. Mutrin, he dives across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Delvin Brown up there and Clint Hurt chasing, and that'll be about 5 yards shy of the first down. So Miami holds on BC's first offensive possession.
Mutrin did a nice job trying to create something, but you saw the pocket collapse. There was really nothing to do but step up and take off. Give credit to the secondary, Frank. Great coverage downfield by the Hurricane secondary.
Jason Malecki into punt, and Nick Ward back to receive it for the Hurricanes. Bit of a high snap, and whistles blow. Whistles blow before the play starts. A flag down on the far side of the field.
Wow, and Jeff Popovich just came clean right up the middle, too.
So in a lot of ways, that may have been a good penalty on Boston College.
Offense. 5-yard penalty remains 4th down.
So that pushes it back to 4th and 9. But again, you mentioned, John, Jeff Popovich looked like he might have had a clean shot at that punt.
He was definitely closing in on the BC punter. And you see Jim O'Brien a little concerned early in this football game.
So Malecki will try it again. Good snap this time, and he gets the kick away. A low line drive. Ward at his 33. Gets a block from Delvin Brown. Nick Ward at the 40. And we'll get to the 43-yard line. Still moving, and finally down he goes. They'll give him forward progress up to the 43-yard line. Tackle from Frank Chamberlain, the outside linebacker, and Miami will have their second possession with 8:56 to go first quarter, and the Canes up by a score of 7-0. You see Butch Davis saying, hey, pick a direction and go. We got a return set up. You can't start one way and go back the other. That's when you run into clips and illegal blocks in the back, because your blockers are expecting you to go one way, and all of a sudden the defenders have their backs to it.
He loves the effort, but he's getting coached. He's getting schooled up on the sidelines. You have to stick with it. As you said, Frank, you get a lot of special teams penalties going the wrong way.
From the Miami 44, Williams, the fullback, in motion. Covington will throw, flips it out to Edgerrin James with blockers in front. Edgerrin James up near midfield. And a nice pickup on first down for the Canes. Ramon Johnson making the tackle. A gain of close to 7. And Miami will bring up with a 2nd and a short 4. 8:36 to go first quarter. Miami with a 7-0 lead. That man, Edgerrin James, a 2-yard touchdown run on Miami's opening possession. Standard eye set for the Canes. As they snap it from midfield, Edgerrin James behind a Mercier block. Well done. James down the sideline and shoved out by Carlos Moore at the BC 35-yard line, but another pickup of 15 yards for Edgerrin James. Richard Mercier doing a nice job out in front.
Credit Richard Mercier and also Santana Moss. You'll see 62 first Mercier. Nice kick out block there, but watch Santana Moss. He'll be down on the ground. He's already got the DB, 2 DBs for Boston College down on the Orange Bowl grass. Just a terrific effort outside by Mercier and also Santana Moss, enabling number 5, Edgerrin James. He sets up blocks terrific. You see him turn on the speed to the outside.
1st and 10 Miami at the 35 of Boston College. Covington to throw on first down. Good protection, wide open. Santana Moss at the 20 and to the 18-yard line. where Willie Wright, the outside linebacker, made the tackle. I didn't pick up who the blocker was, but somebody was coming on a rush and just got stuck.
Edgerrin James did a great job on the outside. Boston College came with a short corner blitz. They came with a corner blitz off the near side, and number 5, Edgerrin James, protected Scott Covington enough time. He gave him enough time to go outside to Santana Moss on the outside. Did a nice job staying in the pocket. The protection was perfect. Nice job by the offensive line. And right there, number 5, Edgerrin James kicks out. Covington slides away from the pressure from the blitz and delivers a strike.
On 1st and 10 from the 18, Edgerrin James. Inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5. And Edgerrin James just will not be denied. Adam Newman, the outside linebacker, finally making the tackle, but another huge chunk of yardage, another gain of 15.
Yeah, Adam Newman, number 88, he went for a ride on number 5's back. Edgerrin James doing a nice job. Boy, this Miami offense is clicking on all cylinders early in this football game. Edgerrin James shows you the patience, but he's moving forward, and he's breaking arm tackles just like he did against West Virginia last week. You see there, number 88, Newman, went for about a 5-yard ride. Just Edgerrin James tonight, 9 rushes, 63 yards, and 1 touchdown. He's looking to score again.
James to the 1 and will not get in. Frank Martin, backup linebacker, in there on the goal line defense, making the play. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal. Miami going with the 3 tight ends down in the inside the 5-yard line with Bubba Franks and Mondrell Fulcher, who are both outstanding blockers, and Dan Smith, the freshman tight end, who is also a pitcher on the baseball team, is in there as the 3rd tight end. So this is a bit of a new look for the Hurricanes, John, inside the 5.
I like it, too, because the Hurricanes offensively right now feels that they can do anything they want inside.
Covington over the top. They have not made a call as yet. No marking shy of the goal line. So it'll bring up 3rd and goal. Now, when you've got Nick Williams and Edgerrin James, I think your chances are a little bit better handing it off to one of those two.
They gave it to their power back, number 11, Scott Covington. He was stopped short of the goal line. You see Coach Davis on the sidelines talking to his offensive team. But Scott Covington, he said, give me one more chance, Coach. Maybe I can stick it in the end zone, or he knows better. Number 5 may get the football here.
3rd down and goal for the Hurricanes. Trying to punch it in for the 2nd time in as many possessions. Again, the triple tight end. And the give to James. James to the goal line. Edgerrin James, touchdown. The linesman on the near side made the call. James broke the plane, and Miami has their 2nd 6-pointer of the 1st quarter.
Edgerrin James sneaking in from just 1 yard out. The Miami offense rolling right now, Frank. They're taking a 13-0 lead on Boston College, and I don't see anything Boston College is doing defensively that can stop the Canes this evening.
Randy Crossland in to attempt his 2nd conversion with 6:17 left to go 1st quarter. As you looked at Edgerrin James as he picks up his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Popovich to hold. Crossland's kick on the way, and it is good. And with 6 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the 1st quarter here on a Halloween night at the Orange Bowl, it's Miami 14 and Boston College nothing. We're going to take one more look at the touchdown. We'll take a timeout and come back from the Orange Bowl right after this. Edgerrin James' 2nd touchdown of the night.
It's no surprise that kids are catching on to the net.
Hello, Brian. How was your science project?
Or that a company would volunteer to connect schools and develop a resource that helps them discover their world.
I'm starting to love volcanoes.
What may be news is who created this education gateway. It wasn't AT&T or MCI. It was Bell South.
Back to work, Romeo.
From big business to education, we put you at the head of the class.
The Panthers take on the Islanders Monday night at 7. When you want information about the Jaguars, Dolphins, and Buccaneers, you have to turn to Sports Channel Florida. Sports Channel has the best coverage of Florida's NFL teams on Sunday Morning NFL, presented by AutoNation USA. Sports Channel's experts give a fresh perspective about what's going on with the teams you care about. Broadcast live from one of Florida's 3 NFL home cities, Sunday Morning NFL is right in the middle of the action. Tune to Sunday Morning NFL, presented by AutoNation USA, every Sunday at 10 a.m. on Sports Channel's Sunday Morning Playbook.
Join Sports Channel Florida every Saturday morning at 11:30 to talk with the Hurricanes head coach Butch Davis. The Butch Davis Show takes you behind the scenes with the Canes leader. Coach Davis takes you through last week's highlights and previews this week's matchup. It's all right here on Sports Channel Florida, the Butch Davis Show, hosted by...
You got it, Frank Fort, none other than our man.
I know him.
I know him too, know him well.
Take another look at the Edgerrin James touchdown from a yard out.
Great job down blocking that time by number 75, Hall. He did a great job coming from that right tackle position. And Edgerrin James, this play was supposed to go outside behind Richard Mercier, but when you're 1 yard out and you see a little daylight, he did the right thing. He went straight ahead for the goal line. Edgerrin James gets in the second time this evening.
14-0 Miami with 6:17 to go in the first quarter. Todd Severs will kick it off. Jermaine Walker back deep to receive, along with Cedric Washington, and this one boomed about 7 yards deep in the end zone. Walker will take the knee, and Boston College will start 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. Well, much like last week, John, where West Virginia jumped out to a 14-3 lead, BC finds themselves in the position the Canes were in last week, having to respond or else the game can get away from them pretty quickly.
In a hurry, and they're really relying on Mike Cloud to carry the weight, the load of the team running the football. Now Scott Mutrin is going to have to come out and really move the football through the air. You got 6:12 left to go in the first quarter, and you're already down 2 scores.
1st and 10 from the 20. Tight end Tardio, number 16, resetting, making it a strong right formation. And to give to Mike Cloud. Cloud across the 20 to the 23 or 4 yard line. Dan Morgan and Nate Webster combining on the tackle. And here is a look at that Hurricane defense. Derek Ham, who has added a sack to his total, now up to 8 on the season. He had 1 in the first possession. The linebackers, they are outstanding. Dan Morgan leading the team in tackles. Nate Webster not far behind. And in the secondary, Edward Reed, the freshman from St. Rose, Louisiana, quickly turning into the playmaker in the secondary. Has a couple of interceptions so far and a block kick as well. Pickup of almost 4 on first down. Call it 2nd and 6 for the Eagles at their 24. The fake to Cloud. Mutrin on the rollout. Flips it out, complete to his tight end, and he bounces off 1 tackle and forced out of bounds at the 35-yard line. But the completion good for a first down to Robert Ellis, the backup tight end. In fact, Ellis was not even listed on the 2 deep.
No, we were looking for that name. Number 82, Robert Ellis, did a nice job of sneaking out. Watch him try to pin Ham on the outside and then just slips outside. Nice catch, and watch him lower his shoulder there on Marquise Fitzgerald and goes up the field for a BC first down.
First down, Boston College at their 39-yard line. Robert Ellis, 6'4", 252, a sophomore from Baytown, Texas. Standardized set now for the Eagles. They pick up their initial first down of the game. This is Mike Cloud, has a hole. Cloud up to the 40-yard line, where he's brought down by Dan Morgan with help from Al Blades. The gain is 6.
BC's doing a nice job right now, Frank. Now, you have to rely on that offensive line as well as you take a look at Dan Morgan. He was in already on a couple tackles with his buddy Nate Webster, but that offensive line is their bread and butter. They're going to provide running room for Mike Cloud, number 21. They average 6'4.5", 306 pounds, so they can't really go straight too far away from that running game. They need to throw it and get back in this game, but they're going to stick to their game plan.
On 2nd and 4 for the Eagles. Mutrin with play action. Has plenty of time. Throws to the outside complete, but Dan Morgan there to make the play for pretty much no gain. Maybe a pickup of a yard as Cloud made the reception, and I'll tell you what, they gave him a pretty kind spot on the far side of the field. We'll call it a gain of 2.
Frank, when you talk about this Miami defense, you have to talk about the speed of the linebackers. Smith, Webster, and Morgan. They can run with wide receivers and offensive running backs. Great coverage on the outside by Dan Morgan. He's all over Mike Cloud, and as you said, Frank, a very generous spot. He gave him 2 yards.
He gave him at least an extra yard. 3rd, and call it a yard from the BC 42, just outside the 42. To give to Cloud. Cloud piles into the line, and it's going to depend on the spot. Dan Morgan has him, along with Webster.
I think he's short, Frank.
Well, I'll tell you what, they gave Cloud an extra yard at least on that previous completion. He caught the ball at the 41, and that's where Morgan hit him, and they spotted it past the 42.
Really impressed with the way Miami's come out on both sides of the football. Aggressively on offense, they're throwing the football at will. Edgerrin James running the football. And now you take a look at BC and Coach O'Brien's team struggling a little bit on defense. Offensively, it's going to be a tough call. I do believe they're going to be about a football short.
The Big East crew tonight headed by referee John Smith Jr. And as you see, they are about 4 inches shy of a first down. So Tom O'Brien will send the punt team on the field. And Miami's coaches should warn their special teams, under no circumstances should you jump offside and give them a first down.
That's really the only things the coaches are saying right now.
Edward Reed back to receive the punt for Miami as Jason Malecki will kick it away. This is where you're in that punt safe, John, where you really don't rush the punter. You just make sure it's not a fake and you don't jump offside. So basically it's the first team defense that's still in the game as opposed to the normal punt return team. Malecki's kick. Driving Reed back. It takes a bounce inside the 20 and is down at the 13-yard line of Miami. That's where the Canes will start 1st and 10. Emerson Phillips downing the football, and Miami will have the football for the 3rd time tonight. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go first quarter. It's the Canes leading 14-0.
Get lucky at Hollywood Seminole Gaming. Hollywood Seminole Gaming in the heart of Broward County brings Vegas to your backyard. Every day, 24 hours a day and 364 days a year. You can play poker or take a free lesson. And we have 4 sessions of bingo every day. There's tons of cash and prizes to be won. Stop by Hollywood Seminole Gaming today. Feeling lucky?
Catch all 82 fast-paced, bone-crushing Panthers games exclusively on Sports Channel. Then on Sundays at 11:30 a.m., join Jeff Rimmer on Panthers Weekly. Panthers Weekly previews and reviews every game, every week, only on Sports Channel Florida.
Back at the Orange Bowl last year, Edgerrin James up at Boston College. He had a Big East record-setting 271-yard day against the Boston College Eagles. A career day, the best day any running back has ever had in a Big East football game. Edgerrin James with 271 yards, 3 touchdowns, and so far tonight, he's doing pretty well too. 11 carries for 65 yards and a couple of touchdowns, but BC didn't stop him last year, and so far they haven't stopped him tonight, John.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to have much success this evening. The offensive line being the key for Miami, doing a nice job getting out in front, creating holes for number 5, Edgerrin James.
3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go first quarter. Miami with a 14-0 lead. 1st and 10 from the 13. James Jackson now in relief of James, and down he goes at the 10-yard line as he tried to go outside. A beautiful defensive play from Ramon Johnson would not let him get there, a loss of almost 3.
Johnson did a nice job for the Eagles on the short side of the football field, coming up from the secondary position, really playing hard-nosed football on the outside. James Jackson, Frank, I like to see Miami when they go short side, instead of that stretch play, just toss it outside. It's much more quicker to get to the line of scrimmage, and the back gets to read the offensive lineman that much more quicker.
So the first time Miami has been thrown for a loss this evening. Will bring up 2nd and 13 from their 10. On the draw, James Jackson had to skip around a blocker, gets across 15, 20. James Jackson at the 30. It's a foot race now, and I don't know if they can get James Jackson. This is going to be a 90-yard touchdown run if he can keep going. Knocked down at the 10-yard line. Jonathan Ordway caught him from behind and saved the touchdown for the time being, as it's like James Jackson was running out of gas a little bit. He's going to take himself out and say, give me a breather, but that is an 80-yard gain for James Jackson.
I think he barely made it to the sideline, Frank. He didn't have enough gas to get over to the Hurricane bench, but what a great run. James Jackson last week comes in the 4th quarter and creates an exciting run for the Canes and gets them down to the goal line. Here you see just a terrific run. A lot of individual effort there, making Boston College defenders miss. And now you see James Jackson heading to the sideline. Frank, I think if he hugs the sideline, he may score, but he runs back into the middle of the football field, right where Jonathan Ordway is coming, number 28, and stops him on about the 11-yard line, it looks like, Frank. 1st and 10 Canes, but great running ability on the outside by James Jackson.
79 yards officially on the carry. 1st and 10 Canes at the 11. This is Williams, the fullback. Bounced off 1 and will pick up barely a yard. Adam Newman made the penetration and the initial hit. It'll bring up 2nd and 9 for Miami. Butch Davis pacing the sidelines as his team in position now to add one more touchdown on the board. They've scored the first 2 times they touched the ball, but another look at James Jackson's run. And the impressive thing, John, is the way the Hurricanes stuck with their blocks down the field.
They did a great job. They know any one of these 3 running backs, you get Davenport, James, and Edgerrin James, anytime that they can get their hands on the football, they can break a tackle downfield, and that's what makes the guys block downfield.
2nd and 9, Hurricanes. Blitz coming, they pick it up.
He's
Covington,
got him.
end zone, touchdown, Darryl Jones. Well, so far, Miami's made it look easy. 3 possessions and 3 touchdowns. They lead it 20-0 with a conversion upcoming, 1:56 to go first quarter.
Couldn't have said it any better, Frank. They're making it look easy, and they're doing it with all facets of the offensive game. They're running the football at will, they're throwing it, and the offensive line is doing a terrific job enabling Scott Covington just on a little bit of a half roll to get outside and find Darryl Jones for his 2nd score of the season.
Jeff Popovich will hold. Andy Crossland attempting his 3rd extra point of the night. Kick is away, and the kick is good. And with 1:56 to go here in the first quarter, it's Miami 21 and Boston College nothing. You look at Darryl Jones, who caught the winning touchdown at West Virginia, his 1st touchdown of the season, and now he's got a 2-game streak.
Anytime you have a running game, you can use play action, and Scott Covington just rolls a little bit, moves the pocket, great protection, and on the outside, Darryl Jones beats 2 BC defenders to get into the end zone. It was very easy from the start because he had great protection. Covington does a nice job of moving the pocket and then lets Jones run to the football. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
A close-up look at Scott Covington, and you mentioned it, John. They move the pocket intentionally.
Anytime you're dropping back, you get a steady dive of that. You have to mix in a little rollout, and that's exactly what Art Kehoe and Larry Coker and the offensive staff did that time. Nice play call offensively, and Scott Covington, Frank, we talked about it off camera earlier. He's the key. He's the guy that's making it happen for Miami. Anytime you have a quarterback that's completing a high rate of passes and a leader out there, you can do many more things with an offense. And credit number 11, he's having a terrific evening, but not only that, he's having a terrific season.
Miami trainers are looking at James Jackson. He's grabbing the back of his left hamstring. As you look at Scott Covington, Jackson just to the left of Covington was grabbing his left hamstring after that 79-yard run, so we'll check on his status. But Miami, the important thing right now, they have a 21-0 lead in this. Every game is critical for this Miami team in the Big East race right now. They're pointing toward that closing game at Syracuse, but they got to take care of business in between. And last week's game, as I said in the open, was maybe a benchmark for this program, which is still rebuilding. But they got to pick it up this week and not have the letdown. So far, they certainly have not. Jermaine Walker from the 1-yard line. Walker spun down shy of the 20. Jeff Popovich has him around the ankles, and Al Blades has him around the shoulder pads. As you look at James Jackson, the sophomore from Belgrade, he's got a smile on his face.
He's explaining to everybody how he did that. You see on the season, 50 rushes, 303 yards. The impressive thing, his average, over 6 yards at 6.1 yards per carry. He's been in the end zone 3 times, but he's telling the guys, hey, I really didn't let it all hang out. I was just kind of coasting after the 20-yard line. Somebody caught me from behind.
James Jackson says, hey, I don't need a lot of carries. Give me 10 or 11 and I'll get you 100 yards. And he's not often wrong. On first down from the 19-yard line, Boston College with 1:46 to go first quarter. Tardio, the tight end, resetting to the right side of the formation. Harding, the wide receiver, in motion. Cloud, or it's Cedric Washington, the backup tailback, and Dan Morgan brings him down close to the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 4 as Washington giving Mike Cloud a break in the Boston College offensive lineup.
That's a tough position for Cedric Washington to be in. There was a huge hole, but he didn't really see number 44 hiding behind one of his offensive linemen. They're so big. Dan Morgan just played a little cat and mouse. He was waiting for the running back Washington to get into the hole, and then from inside out, you'll see number 44, Dan Morgan, come in and make the tackle. He was just waiting for him, and a nice play in the open field by Dan Morgan.
Held it to a gain of 4, 2nd and 6 Boston College, as they spread the formation with 4 wide receivers. Neutron to throw. Look-in pass off the hands of his receiver and incomplete, going for Jermaine Walker at the 32-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Eagles with 1:02 to go here in the first quarter, and Miami with a 21-0 lead.
Miami doing a great job offensively and defensively. 21-0 with 1:02. As you said, Frank, they've come out and established themselves. I think last week they got so much confidence winning on the road, and now they see what's ahead of them. They see the next 3 football games. They came out tonight, and there wasn't a letdown so far. And you see BC on conversions on 3rd down, 0 for 2 tonight, and on the season they're 45%.
3 wide receivers in, and Neutron on 3rd and long, stepping up in the pocket. And he'll run for it, tripped up by Nate Webster, but Neutron will have a first down out close to the 32-yard line.
Mutrin has a nice ability to step up into the pocket, and he can beat you a little bit. He can make plays running the football and tucking it underneath his shoulder and making first downs for this Boston College Eagle football team. You see there the linebackers, Nate Webster, getting a lot of depth, trying to get in that zone coverage, and all you need is 5 yards. Nice play by the quarterback, Scott Mutrin. He's a senior. He's been in that position before. He knows what it takes to move the chains.
Brian Stinson in at right defensive end in place of Derek Ham right now for the Hurricanes. 1st and 10 BC at the 32. There's a give to Cloud, stepped around one, but Dan Morgan then there to bury him along with Nate Webster. And also Brian Stinson in on the play. That's a loss on 1st down of 2 yards.
And Frank, credit Michael Lawson, number 97. He might have been the first Hurricane in the backfield, causing the running back to run to his left. The hole looked like it was to the right, and Michael Lawson did a nice job of really creating some havoc in that BC backfield.
10 seconds left to go first quarter, and the Eagles will just let it run out. It has not been a pleasant first quarter for the visiting Boston College Eagles on Halloween night at the Orange Bowl. 3, 2, 1, and that is the end of the first quarter. It's in the books, and Miami with a tremendous first quarter. As we leave you to break, a timeout. Miami at the end of one quarter leading 21-0 at the Orange Bowl.
I'll just tell them I bought 4 cars and a truck here.
And you know how hard it is to make you happy.
Look, I tell everybody to come to Grand Prize. I know you take good care of your customers. Hey, Mad Dog, what are you doing here?
I buy here, too. Plus, I love doing Ralph's radio commercials.
Excuse me. So for low prices and great selection, come to Grand Prize Chevrolet Oldsmobile, Southwest 152nd Street and the Turnpike in Miami.
Hey, Ralph, next year if I buy more cars and trucks than Jimmy, do I get the punchline? How many?
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do.
Mrs. Adams Vacuum makes cleaning carpets a real workout. Mrs. Stevens' new self-propelled wind tunnel by Hoover almost works by itself. And wind tunnel cleaners work so well, they pick up more dirt than any other clean air upright. Self-propelled wind tunnel.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
After a week off and then a trip to Temple, the Hurricanes return home for a special Thursday night showdown against the Pittsburgh Panthers on November 19th. Kickoff in the Orange Bowl will be 8 p.m. Great football, touchdown alley, family fun, and more, all at an affordable price. Call 305-284-CANES or 1-800-GO-CANES for tickets. That's the Thursday night battle with the Pittsburgh Panthers, the alma mater of one John Kingemi.
Yeah, the head was hanging low because the alma mater of one Frank Ford was on top today.
Go Qs.
Yeah,
Qs beat Pittsburgh.
There you see James Jackson talking on the sidelines, and it looked like he, may have pulled that hamstring on that long run or got a twinge in the leg, and that's why he's on the bench. He's got some ice on his left leg, I believe, and he may not see action with the score 21-0 Miami over Boston College. You may get to see a little bit of number 4 tonight, Nijay Davenport. And you take a look at the first quarter stats, Frank, very dominating. The Miami Hurricanes rushing 149 yards in the first quarter, total yards 210. First downs, you see the Canes with 8. And BC held only 2 first downs.
As we begin play in the second quarter, Boston College has it just past their 30-yard line. It's a 2nd and 11 after a loss on first down, and Mutrin will operate out of the shotgun for the first time tonight. Mutrin throwing for Cloud, incomplete at the 33-yard line. Michael Smith had the coverage. We should mention that Michael Barreau, number 93, got the start tonight in place of Quincy Hips at left defensive end for the Hurricanes. Barreau, the junior college transfer out of North Miami Beach, has shown a propensity to make plays when he's in there, and Quincy Hips battling the heart problem earlier in the season just hasn't been as consistent, I don't think, as the Hurricane coaches would like, so they're giving Barreau a start tonight against Boston College.
Michael doesn't have any sacks on this season, but he has 7 pressures. He knows he has a knack for getting to the quarterback.
3rd and 11 for BC, 3 wide receivers in the formation. Motion from DeWalt. Mutrin with the straight drop, steps up in the pocket, pump fakes, and will run. And Al Blades knocks him down along with Damian Lewis up at the 37-yard line. So Mutrin does gain 7, but he is shy of the first down, and BC will be forced to punt it away again, as you see Al Blades, the sophomore from Plantation, and the Miami defense doing the job so far tonight.
Nice pressure by 97 and 93. Lawson and Barreau, they really force Mutrin out of the pocket, and they do a great job. It might have been holding by the BC offensive line, but in any event, nice pressure by the front 4 of the Hurricanes.
Jason Malecki to kick, gets it away under some pressure. Nick Ward at his 18-yard line. Ward looking for some help. Now he has a lane and a couple of blocks, and finally a flag down as he's forced out at the 30-yard line. They're going to get Miami for an illegal block. And I thought Michael Barreau just got taken down on that last pass rush by one of the BC offensive linemen.
He did such a good job on the right side. Really, the BC offensive lineman had no other choice but to drag him down, but the officials didn't see it. Let's see what they saw on the special teams on the punt return.
Punt return.
Illegal block in the back. They'll mark it off from the 24-yard line, the spot of the foul. And Miami will take over and deep in their own territory. See if we can pick up the culprit on this play. Looks like Chris Campbell. And that's kind of a marginal call right there.
Wow, and I think that's what he did call. I thought Campbell did a nice job of trying to avoid any contact.
Doing the return. Illegal block in the back, above the waist. 10-yard penalty will be first in.
Chris Campbell, the true freshman out of Mount Pleasant, Texas. And sometimes on the special teams, what you've got to remember is that sometimes the young guys, they want to bust every play. And you just got to say, hey, let the guy go. We'll take the ball where we can get it instead of, marching it back inside the 20-yard line. We're not going to break every one. Miami 1st and 10 from the 14. Edgerrin James on the delay. James to the outside, gets across the 15 to the 18-yard line. Shoved out of bounds there by Brooke Heald, the backup outside linebacker. That'll bring up second and about, well, they mark it back at the 17-yard line. So it's only a couple of yards.
Counterplay
up second and 7.
Yeah,
sorry, John.
Counterplay to the short side. Looked like the hole was inside, but Edgerrin decided to bounce it outside. Really no running room. Just his speed enabled him to pick up 2 yards on first down.
2nd and 8 for the Canes. 14:08 to go second quarter. Miami holding a 21-0 lead over Boston College. Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. The pitch to Edgerrin James. Going to the short side. Good blocking. James across the 25 and should have a first down for the Hurricanes, but a flag back at the Miami 14-yard line as Pat Feltz made the tackle. It's going to be holding against the Hurricanes.
I believe they're going to catch Damon Neely, the right guard, number 75, for holding. It looked like on the toss to the short side, Damon got his hands out in front of him. And that's going to bring Butch Davis and the Hurricane offense. You see, Butch, use your head, guys. Come on. We got to make a first down, get this ball out of our own territory. Take a look at the right side. It looks like somebody in orange has their hands right there, 75. Damon Neely had his hands out in front. And that's going to bring it back.
Well, the spot of the foul is the 14, so that'll bring it back to the 7-yard line and put Miami in an even deeper hole. Watch the upper part of the screen right there in the backfield. And the referee, John Smith Jr., is the one who threw the flag. It happened right in front of him.
Something that Miami really stayed away from last week against West Virginia, the penalties. That was hurting them early in the season, really preventing them from moving the football with any consistency. They stayed away from it last week, and so far tonight they're trying to stay away from it.
So they'll repeat second down. It's a 2nd and 18 now from the 7-yard line. Covington with the straight drop. Outside to Wayne, and he dropped it. Reggie Wayne trying to run before he caught the football. And you don't see that very often from Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne had a lot of plans after he caught the football that time, but you have to catch it first before you can make a move downfield. And early in the season, Reggie dropped a couple passes. I remember in a night game, he ripped those gloves off, threw them to the sideline.
That was the first game of the season against East Tennessee State.
And just went after the football, and he had success after that. You see here, watch his head go right up the field. That's what happens. The ball beat him up, got to his chest, and really results in an incomplete pass. You see receptions 31, and he leads the team with yardage 468.
3rd and 18, blitz coming, flag down, and the sack by Willie Wright back at the 2-yard line. And they're going to get Miami for holding, but BC will take the result of the play, which was a sack. So Miami really stopping themselves on this drive with a couple of penalties and a drop pass.
And it all starts on the special team penalty, Frank. They get themselves in a negative situation, and then Miami gets a hold, they get another hold, and they have an incomplete pass, and that'll get you closer to your own goal line.
Brings up 4th down.
Willie Wright, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, credited with the sack, and the Miami punt team will come on the field for the first time tonight with 13:40 left to go in the second quarter. Andy Crossland brings the punt unit onto the field, and Boston College didn't stop Miami at all tonight, but Miami with 2 penalties on that drive and a drop pass, which probably would have resulted in a first down. Jermaine Walker standing at the 50-yard line as Crossland stands at the back of his end zone to kick it away. It's 21-0 Hurricanes. They scored the first 3 times they had the ball. This possession is the first one that did not result in a score.
BC with 10 fresh white jerseys up on the line of scrimmage. They're going to try to get after the Miami special teams after the punter, Andy Crossland.
You see the referee, John Smith Jr. Looks like he's pointing at the scoreboard and wants something changed, perhaps the official game time. Now a couple of officials marching over toward the near corner of the field. Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. And so far, the Hurricanes are putting a scare on Boston College. It's 21-0. It's certainly no treat for BC so far in this game. Some of the crowd, and as you see, some in costumes.
Yeah.
And John Kangemi's former offensive coordinator.
There he is. I made him look like that.
You made him what he is today.
That's right.
Here's the kick from Crossland. Hangs it up. And the catch made at the 44-yard line. Walker dances away from one, and he goes inside the Miami 35-yard line. Dan Morgan in on the tackle for the Hurricanes, along with James Lewis. BC with great field position at the Miami 33. We'll take a timeout on the field. 13:28 to go second quarter. It's Miami 21, Boston College nothing.
The Panthers take on the Islanders Monday night at 7. This season, Sports Channel Florida is the exclusive TV home for the Florida Panthers' entire 82-game season. From the pregame drama to the drop of the puck, the overtime battles to postgame interviews. Oh, there's no doubt. Sports Channel Florida delivers the action. Catch all 82 Panthers games on Sports Channel Florida, because it's more than a game.
The broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel Florida by ESPN Regional solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, transmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of ESPN Regional or Sports Channel Florida is prohibited.
How'd they let the guys in the truck go out in the crowd and enjoy the game?
Well, that was the extras from Braveheart.
Huh?
13:28 to go second quarter. You're looking at the Boston College offense, and Scott Mutrin will lead them out where they have good field position for the first time tonight at the Miami 32-yard line following the 13-yard punt return by Jermaine Walker as Miami was forced to kick from their own end zone. Double tight end, single setback. It is Mike Cloud. And it's Mike Cloud with the football. Cloud across the 30, tripped up as he reaches the 28-yard line. Nate Webster and Marquise Fitzgerald making the tackle.
Nate Webster slow to get up, too. It looked like he was holding his leg on the tackle. Mike Cloud on the carry off left tackle, and Nate was slow getting off the ground.
Pickup of 4, 2nd and 6, Boston College. We'll look at Webster, the sophomore from Miami Northwestern High School.
He's definitely hurting out there, Frank.
And 2nd and 6. Cloud again. A small hole to the 25-yard line. And Adrian Wilson along with Dan Morgan making the tackle for the Miami defense. It'll bring up 3rd and a little more than 2. A look at Mike Cloud's number, 2nd behind only Ricky Williams of Texas in the NCAA rushing numbers.
That's right, 1st in the Big East, 2nd in the country, 11.52. He's got a great average, 5.9 yards every time he touches the football. Miami's done a nice job early in this football game with 12:29 left to go before halftime of really containing Mike Cloud. But a big play here offensively for Boston College on 3rd and 3.
And they go with 3 wideouts trying to spread the Hurricane defense. Mutrin looking to throw, look in, pattern complete inside the 20-yard line is the catch made by Anthony DeCosmo. Marquise Fitzgerald had the coverage. And the pickup is 6 and a first down. Boston College moving the sticks inside the Miami 20.
Marquise Fitzgerald did a terrific job on the outside. Any other route in this pass would not be completed. Really a nice jam on the line of scrimmage, and all Anthony DeCosmo did was reset his feet and then run to the inside and beat the defensive back Fitzgerald to the ball. You see 30 receptions for 542 yards. That leads all Boston College Eagle receivers.
From the double tight end, Cloud skips around at the line of scrimmage and goes absolutely nowhere. In fact, he lost a yard. Michael Lawson and Edward Reed coming up from the safety position making the play. And Edward Reed is turning into Miami's best defensive back this season.
What a story this guy is. Number 20, Edward Reed made such a huge play in that West Virginia game late in the football game with a sack. There you see his speed and strength. He has a great combination of those two attributes, and he gets behind the line of scrimmage for a tackle and makes it 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11, BC with the double wide outs to the bottom of the screen and a double tight end. Muchin with the fake. Now rolling out. Keeps, now throws, and it's complete, and it's going to be a touchdown to Anthony DeCosmo as Marquise Fitzgerald fell down inside the Miami 5-yard line.
Yeah, and it looked like number 90, Quincy Hips, stopped rushing Muchin, thinking he was inside, and he really kept his feet or kept his intensity up, might have made a play on the quarterback, but Muchin, credit him, he found DeCosmo around the 4-yard line. As you said, Frank, Fitzgerald falls down in the end zone. It's an easy touchdown for Boston College.
John Matic in to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Tim Hasselbeck. So BC converts on the great field position. They started at the Miami 32, and they punch it in. Snap is good, hold is good, and Matic's kick is also good. And with 11 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter, Boston College on the board for the first time tonight. It's Miami 21, Boston College 7. We'll be right back from the Orange Bowl.
The ES300, now with a more powerful V6. Apparently, nothing else can stand up to it. The price of an ES300 is within striking distance at your South Florida Lexus dealer.
11:16 to go second quarter. Miami with a 21-7 lead over Boston College as the Eagles get on the scoreboard. A 20-yard pass from Scott Muchin to Anthony DeCosmo.
Nice job on the counter fake. You see Muchin go outside and then get inside of the defensive end. Watch him step up and find his receiver. He's scanning the secondary, and you'll see the Miami defender, Fitzgerald, fall down on about the 3-yard line. It's an easy pass and catch from DeCosmo, Scott Muchin to Anthony DeCosmo for the BC score. That's his 3rd touchdown of the season, but a nice inside-out route. He came out of the break quick, and Muchin found him for the score.
Back to receive for the Hurricanes, Santana Moss and Najee Davenport, as BC will kick off following their first touchdown of the evening. A happy Halloween to you all. And BC will kick it off. John Matic will boot it away. Kicks it low. Picked up by Dan Morgan, the former high school running back, from his own 21-yard line. And Danny gets it out to about the 35 before he is put down, and Miami will begin 1st and 10 from that point. Dan Morgan knows what to do with a football in his hands.
He certainly does.
Coral Springs Taravella High School, he was a 1,000-yard running back.
You know, that's strange. Both times on special teams on the kickoff team for BC, they pooch kicked it really a short 20-yard kick on the opening kickoff. Now they kick it down, and they don't want to give the returners a chance to run it back, but they're giving Miami instant field position at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 Miami. The Canes scored the first 3 times they touched the football before their last drive stalled due to penalties. From the 35, Covington with good numbers so far tonight. Quick throw to the outside, complete to, no, they call it incomplete. I thought Reggie Wayne had picked that one off the turf, but the official on the far side says no. And it'll go as an incompletion, 2nd and 10 Miami. Reggie pleading his case on the far sideline, saying, my hands were underneath the football. And Scott, that time just a bad ball. He fakes the toss, and it's just a quick hitch on the outside. Fake toss to the wide side, sets his feet and goes down the field. I think it got batted at the defensive end on the far side. The left side batted the football. It wasn't that bad of a throw. Nice play by the Boston College defensive front.
2nd and 10 Miami. BC coming on a blitz. Quick hitch to Darrell Jones at the 42. Jones trying to spin out of a tackle and does, up across the 45 to the 46-yard line, where Willie Wright made the tackle, but Darryl Jones has enough for a Miami first down.
The Miami wide receivers, I think, have a feeling in this football game after playing almost a quarter and a half. They know they can dominate the secondary of Boston College. Just two quick hitches, first to the right side to Reggie Wayne. It was deflected. They come back with the same, a little bit of variation of the same play to number 1, Darryl Jones on the outside. Nice shake move on the outside, and he fights his way to a first down.
First down, Canes at the 47. 10:45 to go in the second quarter. Miami with a 21-7 lead. That's Bubba Franks, the tight end, in motion. And the rollout from Covington as they move the pocket again. Covington, sideline, complete to Wayne. And he's pushed out at the BC 35-yard line, but that is plenty for a Miami first down. DeJuan Daniels, a freshman out of Indianapolis, Indiana, making the tackle, but a pickup of 18 for the Hurricanes.
That's terrific timing by quarterback and receiver. Watch the DB right there, number 24, Combs. He just missed Moss on the inside, and he doesn't have enough time to get outside and cover Reggie Wayne. That's terrific timing by quarterback and receiver. Credit Covington for releasing the ball on the run, and nice timing on the outside to his sophomore wide receiver, Reggie Wayne.
And Miami moving the pocket on a couple of occasions tonight with Scott Covington. On first down, Edgerrin James. James will pick up about a half a yard as Adam Newman, number 88, coming in to make the tackle. Very short gain on first down for Edgerrin James, who has 65 yards in the game tonight on 11 carries prior to that carry.
I know
21-7 Miami with the lead right now, John. 10:05 to go in the second quarter.
Edgerrin James right now on the offensive line, they just need to pick up their intensity a little bit. I think they're 21-7. They're moving the football offensively through the air. They need to pick it up a little bit and create that intensity on the ground again.
From inside the BC 35, Fulcher, the tight end, in motion. Blitz coming from the top of the screen. Covington to Jones, wide open. Jones giving ground, gets a block from Fulcher, and will go out at the 25-yard line of Boston College. And it'll depend on the spot whether he gets a first down or not. Where the official has it marked, it appears he does have a first down. DeJuan Daniels pushed him out of bounds.
It's the exact play they ran versus the corner blitz in the first quarter. Boston College comes with another pressure from the outside, the left side of your screen. Edgerrin James picks up the defensive secondary person coming on the blitz, and they throw a curl route to the wide side. You see Darryl Jones, number 1, giving ground, as you said, Frank, but has enough patience and poise on the outside to get the first down.
From the BC 24, Miami with a 1st and 10. Williams motioning in the backfield to give to James. Nothing there at the line of scrimmage, and Edgerrin will go down as Frank Chamberlain has him. In fact, he'll lose about a yard. Frank Chamberlain, the junior, 6 feet even, 239 from Mahwah, New Jersey. Came into the game with 41 tackles, 1 for loss. That was his second right there. A couple of sacks and a couple of pass breakups.
Boston College doing a better job inside the tackles with their defensive front and linebackers controlling Miami's offensive line. Clearly, Miami won the battle in the trenches in the first quarter, but Boston College trying to bow their necks a little bit and bow their backs, trying to play a little bit stronger physically up front.
Approaching 9 minutes to go, second quarter. 2nd and 11 for the Hurricanes. Williams in motion. Again, the blitz comes. Covington complete and incomplete as it juggled out of bounds by Reggie Wayne. So Reggie having a bit of a tough night as Pat Feltz had the coverage, but again, you think Reggie should make that catch.
Got to make that catch. That was a perfectly thrown ball on the outside. Scott Covington, great timing on his 5th step, just lets it go, lets it fire on the out. That's a great throw, and Reggie's got to come down with that catch. He'll be mad at himself jogging back to the huddle, saying, don't look anywhere else. I'll catch it next time, Scott.
3rd and 11 for the Canes with 8:55 to go second quarter. Frank Fort and John Conjemi with you on Sports Channel. A Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. Hurricanes with a 21-7 lead. Trying to respond to Boston College's first touchdown of the night. BC showing blitz. They come from the top of the screen. The hitch pass to Davenport, got away from one, but cannot get away from Adam Grace, who holds it to a 2-yard gain as Davenport lost his helmet.
Yeah, Jonathan Ordway came up from the secondary, also helping Adam Grace, number 92, and helping dislodge Najee Davenport's helmet. Nice presence on defense by BC that time. They came with some pressure. Covington sees it, wants to get rid of it to his hot man on the outside. Out of the backfield, Davenport, he makes the first player miss, but you see number 92 Grace, and he also had help from 28 Ordway for the tackle.
That'll bring on Andy Crossland for a 40-yard field goal try. Delvecchio snap. The hold by Popovich. The kick is up, and it is no good as Crossland missed it wide to the right. Plenty of distance, but he pulled it, and BC will take over at their own 30-yard line with 8:12 to go second quarter. So Miami moved the ball smartly into Boston College territory, but the drive stalls, and Crossland now is 4 of 7 on field goal attempts this year.
Yeah, ball never had a shot on the outside, Frank, just hooked it.
We'll take a timeout. 8:12 to go second quarter at the Orange Bowl. Miami leads by 14.
Gina was a driving girl with geographic memory. Karen dumped her boyfriend Jim, forget that slacker misery. Charlie works in cyberspace, \.com all day long. Pamela, she couldn't sing, but kept the beat and kept it strong. The all-new Mazda Protege. A change from all your high-maintenance relationships.
What's the easiest way to win Super Bowl 33 tickets? Join the Dolphin Club. By joining the official fan club of the Miami Dolphins, you're automatically entered to win. In addition, all 4 levels of the club have new merchandise and collectibles that every fan will enjoy, including the Dolphins Fight Song CD, Dan Marino coin, school notebook, checkbook cover, and much more. The orange level even has private meetings with coaches and players. Don't be left on the sideline. To join, call 800-334-4005, 800-334-4005.
Sports Channel is your home for NFL football Florida style. Tune in every Sunday for 90 minutes of in-depth pregame coverage of the Dolphins, Buccaneers, and Jaguars. It's all on Sunday Morning NFL every Sunday at 10 exclusively on Sports Channel Florida. Sebastian the Ibis entertaining the crowd, shall we call it?
Who's that underneath that mask?
Refugees from the Addams family.
There you go.
It is Halloween night in the Orange Bowl.
Yep,
it is Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. That's not as scary a sight right there.
There he is. All
there
right. I like that face a little better. There's Batman or somebody with him.
1st and 10 Boston College at their 23. Delay give to Cloud. Looking for some room. Doesn't find much. Ducks his head and gets to the 25. As Michael Smith is there for the tackle. A gain of 2. Now that's what you want to do as Miami. You make Mike Cloud slow down in the backfield and look for a hole. He's not going to hurt you nearly as bad as if he's hitting that hole at full speed.
I don't think he's done that all evening. It looked like he's been dancing. Not a lot of room to run, and credit Miami's defensive front. Now, that offensive line is big and strong and physical. They've only allowed 5 sacks on their quarterback, Scott Mutrin, through the whole season. Miami's doing a nice job pressuring with their defensive front.
Miami does have 1 sack tonight. It's 2nd and 7 for the Eagles at their 26. From the I formation, Cloud again. Puts his head down, squeezes out about 3 more to the 28. Matt Sweeney has him around the ankles, number 98, the junior from Sussex, New Jersey. That'll bring up 3rd and nearly 5 for Boston College.
Be a nice series of down for this defense right now to come back, go 3 and out, and get the ball back to their offense so they can get back and hold the football and put it in before halftime with 7:06 left to go. Miami leading 21-7. Defense trying to make a stand on 3rd and 5.
Now, Mutrin has hurt Miami the last couple possessions by stepping up into the pocket. 3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 5. Mutrin out of the shotgun. They picked up the blitz. Pass complete to Tardio, the tight end. And Edward Reed makes the tackle at the 34-yard line. But Tardio has enough for the 1st down.
Rob Tardio, nice job. Just a delay over the middle of the football field. He's got great size, 6'5", 245 for Tom O'Brien's BC Eagles. Out of the tight end position. They haven't hit him all night. Nice play on 3rd down. Nice play call by the Eagles. You take a look on the left-hand side. You see him just protecting, and now slipping out from the left side. Just a little tight end delay, and they have enough for a 1st down.
From the Boston College 35, the Eagles move the sticks. They'll have it 1st and 10. Fullback Utzler in motion. They give to Cloud. Cloud dances around to 40 and gets out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. For Al Blades and Dan Morgan make the tackle, but a nice gain on 1st down, picked up close to 7.
Great block by the center, Damian Woody, 6'4", 312 pounds on Nate Webster, the Miami middle linebacker. That's what happened in the middle of the football field, enabling Mike Cloud to finally hit the hole with some authority. Take a look at Webster from the defensive side, and you'll see the center doing a great job, number 63, Woody, just making him go where Nate doesn't want to go, and a big hole up the middle for 8 yards.
2nd and a short 3 for Boston College. Utzler, the fullback, again in motion. Cloud has the football. Cloud close to the 1st down, maybe just a bit shy out at the 44-yard line. Again, Dan Morgan in on the tackle for the Miami defense. And Dan's had a very active night so far, and you see he's wearing that cow collar to protect the neck protection. He got stung in the Florida State game, so he started wearing that last week at West Virginia.
Well, as many tackles as he's in on, he needs something to support that neck, because he's in on the action just about every play. He's an aggressive style linebacker. He's got great speed. You can't say enough good things about number 44.
3rd and 1 for Boston College at their 39. Neutron keeps it and has it first down across the 45-yard line. So Boston College maintains possession with 5:03 left to go second quarter. They trail at 21-7. Miami scored touchdowns the first 3 times they touched the football. Then on their 4th possession, they were stopped by penalties, had to kick from their own end zone, and BC cashed in on the short field, going 32 yards for the touchdown. Miami just missed a field goal, giving it back to Boston College right here.
Well, it was all Miami in the first quarter, and let's give Boston College some credit. It started with special teams and defense and getting them in position to score their first touchdown. Now the offense trying to control the football with under 5 minutes left to go before halftime.
Eagles from their own 46, 1st and 10. Neutron, 3-step drive. Pass complete on the outside to Walker at the 49, and Leonard Myers picks him up with a slam dunk after a 4-yard gain.
Leonard Myers missed the action last week, and he's back in this football game, showing some excitement on the outside. A very aggressive tackle. Doesn't look like the Boston College Eagles on the outside want to match up with the secondary of Miami. You see just a quick hitch, and Leonard Myers makes him pay for it. He holds him up and waits for the cavalry to arrive.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6 for BC. Ball at the 49-yard line of the Eagles. A look at Leonard Myers from Fort Lauderdale Dillard High School, coming back off arthroscopic knee surgery, which caused him to miss the West Virginia game. Neutron gives it to Cloud. Cloud at midfield. Got away from, no he didn't, from Edward Reed. Reed got enough of him to trip him up as Cloud falls inside Miami territory just past the 49-yard line. Gained a little bit over 2, and that'll bring up 3rd and about 4.
That was a nice run, even to get 2 yards. Dan Morgan was in the hole waiting for Mike Cloud. Morgan made him cut back to his left, right into the presence of number 20, Edward Reed for the Hurricanes. Edward Reed doing a nice job coming out from that strong safety position, holding the back to a minimal gain.
3 wide receivers in for BC on this 3rd and 4 from the Miami 49. Out of the shotgun with the tight end Tardio in motion. Morgan comes on the blitz. Neutron's pass is incomplete. Good pressure for Miami, and a flag down at the 45-yard line. This might be an illegal formation.
You got it, Frank.
I didn't think they had the tackle on the right side covered.
A lot of pressure on the outside created by the defensive front by Miami. It looked like Morgan was coming from the outside.
On offense, that penalty is declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
Miami, of course, refuses the penalty because it does bring up 4th down. And the punter, Jason Malecki, onto the field as Nick Ward will go back to receive for the Hurricanes. A look at Tom O'Brien. Attended the Naval Academy. Then spent about 15 years coaching at the University of Virginia before he became BC's offensive coordinator and eventually their head coach. Malecki to kick. High spiral, Ward at his 12. Ward to the 15 and shoved out of bounds there as a flag goes down back at the Miami 11-yard line. So again, Miami hurting themselves on special teams with the penalties.
Yeah, they're going to pin themselves way back now with 3:10 left to go before halftime. Looks like that ball may go inside the 10-yard line.
Now the flag's at the 11, and a half the distance penalty will put it at about the 5.5. Second time BC has punted, and the second time Miami's been guilty of a penalty. And that one looked like it was behind the play. Holding against the Hurricanes is the call from John Smith Jr.
It looked like Delvin Brown, Frank, number 24, just trying to give some room to his returner. Right there, he extends his arms, and that's what the call was. Not sure who that was. I don't know if they called it on Delvin Brown.
Yeah, it had to be Delvin.
Yeah.
He was really the only one in the area where they threw the flag. That looked a little bit picky to me. You see guys grabbing and everything on the inside the frame all the time. And it's when they grab around the shoulders that you normally get the call. There is a timeout on the field with 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go second quarter. We'll be back to action in just a minute with the Hurricanes leading 21-7.
I'll just tell them I bought 4 cars and a truck here.
And you know how hard it is to make you happy.
Look, I tell everybody to come to Grand Prize. I know you take good care of your customers. Hey, Mad Dog, what are you doing here?
I buy here, too. Plus, I love doing Ralph's radio commercials.
Excuse me. So for low prices and great selection, come to Grand Prize Chevrolet Oldsmobile, Southwest 152nd Street and the Turnpike in Miami.
Hey, Ralph, next year if I buy more cars and trucks than Jimmy, do I get the punchline?
How many?
Dilbert for Office Depot.
Psst. Avoid the pointy-haired boss today. I proved him wrong about something.
Oh, now he's in a state of boss disequilibrium until he proves he's right about something.
They're photocopies. You don't need to proofread each one.
We'll see about that.
Need copier paper? Come to Office Depot, the world's largest seller of office products. The best brands, guaranteed low prices, everything for all your home and business needs. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
Take the Hurricane Club Challenge. Help gather new donors to the Hurricane Club and win great prizes like a trip or two to a game of your choice. For more information, contact the Hurricane Club at 305-284-6699 or 1-800-GO-CANES. First and 10 Miami deep in their own territory, and Edgerrin James with a nice run on first down gets it out to the 14-yard line from the 7, so a good pickup on first down as we're under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ramon Johnson making the tackle for the Boston College defense.
And a nice surge by the right side of that offensive line. Edgerrin James had a lot of running room that time. Inside the tackles, he goes for 7 yards, and Miami really wants to get more aggressive up front in this series, stick it in the end zone.
2nd and 3 for the Hurricanes from their own 14. Mondrell Fulcher, the tight end, in motion. Again, the give to James. Across the 15, up near the 20-yard line. And that'll be first down yardage for the Canes as he picks up 6. Willie Wright in on the tackle along with Frank Chamberlain for the Eagle defense. And the clock stops with 2:30 to go second quarter as they move the chains. And Miami will get out of the shadow of their own goalpost. They're at the 20-yard line.
That's the goal when you're down in deep. Scott Covington telling his teammates on the first set of downs, hey, let's get 2 first downs. We got 2:22 left to go before halftime. All 3 timeouts. We can stick it in the end zone. Edgerrin James, 15 rushes for 78 yards. Just a nice first half.
And Miami getting back to basics as they did in the first quarter when they blew Boston College off the ball. Toss to James, short side sweep. Edgerrin tripped up as he reaches the 25-yard line. Adam Newman, number 88, along with 98, Mike Willits on the tackle. That's a pickup of 5, and we're at 2 minutes right now. And the Hurricanes looked like they were going to go with no huddle. I don't know why they're taking their time like this.
Yeah, they're kind of leisurely walking around. They have 3 timeouts, but that clock is running, and Edgerrin was just 1 step away from really turning it into high gear, and Scott Covington thinks better of it and stops the clock. He has 3 of them to burn. They burn 1 now with 1:41 left to go before halftime.
The problem is that's a lack of communication because they burned about 17 seconds off the clock. There's got to be a clearer form of communication, and you see Butch Davis saying to Scott, well, maybe we wanted that timeout right after the play because it was just about at 2 minutes when the tackle was made, and it's at 1:41 now. So they wasted a good 18 seconds.
Yeah, but they still have plenty of time to get where they need to go now. They've been running the football, and with 2nd and 5 to go, they can get a first down on the ground and stop the clock and then maybe get into that no-huddle type of offense and really try to throw it. That'll enable them to get their 2nd first down of this series, get the ball out to about the 30, 35-yard line, and now get into their 2-minute offense.
Butch Davis talking to his offense, and here is the Hurricanes' upcoming schedule. After a week off, they'll go to Temple. Then the Thursday night game here at the Orange Bowl against Pittsburgh. The showdown with Syracuse on November 28th. And then December 5th, the rescheduled game against the 2nd-ranked UCLA Bruins. The thing about it is, John, if you take tonight's game, plus Temple and Little Red Riding Hood made it. Where's the big bad wolf when you need him?
Over here.
If Miami can win this game tonight and then take care of business in the next 2, then they're looking at 7-2, which will qualify them for a bowl, and then you can let it hang out against Syracuse and UCLA. You can play loose and not have to play with a lot of pressure.
And I think that's the goal of this Miami team, to take care of business tonight in the upcoming 2 games and then see what happens against Syracuse and UCLA.
2nd and 5, Covington, quick drop, complete to Reggie Wayne out to the 33-yard line. Pushed out there by Pat Feltz. That's good enough for a first down, and it stops the clock. So with 1:37 left, Miami has a fresh set of downs from their own 33.
Exactly what they wanted to do, Frank. Just a quick out. This is nice patience by Covington. The linebacker was trying to come from inside out. Scott put it in a position to Reggie Wayne outside. Nobody could get near it, and it's a first down Canes with 1:37 left to go.
Reggie had a couple of drops earlier tonight, but hanging on to that one. You don't see Reggie drop a whole lot of them. 31 catches coming into the game. Miami with the 3 wideout set now. Bubba Franks, the tight end, in motion. 3-man rush, 4-man rush now coming. Screen set up to James. Flag down, and a beautiful defensive play by Willie Wright. Knocks that play down for a loss of 3. The good thing about the flag is that it stops the clock for the Hurricanes.
Right, and they're going to get caught with a holding on the inside. A beautiful play on the outside by Willie Wright. As you said, Frank, you got to pump up those guys that went to your high school. At St. Thomas Aquinas, a local Fort Lauderdale product, but Butch Davis isn't happy on the sidelines. Can't do that on 1st and 10. They just got the chains moving, and they get a hold on the inside. It would look like a nice play, but Willie Wright, coming from the outside linebacker position, does a nice job in stopping the screen.
Eric Schnupp in at right guard, replacing Damon Neely for the Hurricanes. Schnupp himself coming off major knee surgery in the offseason and just made the trip to West Virginia last week. That was the first time he was in uniform. John Smith, our referee, will sort it out with 1:31 to go first half. Holding against Miami. BC will take the penalty and will repeat the down.
What BC is doing right now in their type of zone, heavy zone defense, they're walking out Willie Wright, and they're walking out also Adam Newman, number 88, outside, and really preventing Miami from getting downfield when they go to the 3 wide receiver package.
1st and 24 for Miami after the holding penalty. Delay give to James. Not much there. James trying to get to the outside, and he'll get out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. Forced out there by Carlos Moore. Gain of about 3 or 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 21 for Miami. Now with 1:14 to go here in the second quarter at the Orange Bowl. Well, it was a dynamite first quarter for Miami. They led 21-0. But the second quarter has seen the offense bogged down with some penalties, and BC improving their defensive play.
Yeah, offensively it's come to a screeching halt for the University of Miami in the second quarter.
From the Miami 22. Again, to give to James inside. James bursting through across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Frank Chamberlain making the tackle. It'll bring up about a 3rd and 10, and Miami will spend their second timeout.
Edgerrin James, you had a full head of steam coming right at you, right up the middle of the football field. Nice down block by number 88. Bubba Franks, and also the offensive line creating a little bit of a seam right up the middle of the football field for Edgerrin James to slide through. That brings up 3rd and 10, and Miami calling timeout to talk about it. The entire offense on the sideline with that offensive staff and Butch Davis trying to see how they can muster up a conversion on 3rd down.
Well, really, the penalties, it takes you out of good clock management, John. You got to run a little bit safer plays. Otherwise, you risk a turnover, or you give the ball up in bad field position, and BC can get right back in this thing because they do get the second half kickoff. And I think Butch Davis and Larry Coker are very aware of that and have been a little bit conservative in their play calling, try and prevent BC from getting the football back with any time left in this half. At the same time, you're trying to move the sticks. But when you have those penalties, I think it just limits so much what you can do in your offensive package.
Well, penalties will kill you, and one other thing that'll kill you is Edgerrin James. You see there, number 2 on UM's career rushing leaders. He's going after O.J. Anderson at 3,331, but he's done a nice job on the ground. And Frank, you can tell how penalties can kill you. I think Miami was very content in running the football and running out the clock had they not had success on the last couple of plays. Now they're in a 3rd and 10 position. If they do get the first down, you'll see them be more aggressive. If not, they're going to kick the football away with just under a minute left to go to BC.
Edgerrin James with that last 10-yard run, moving into second place on Miami's all-time rushing list. Scott Covington brings the offense on the field with a 3rd and 10 from the Miami 33-yard line, call it. Ball just over the 32. They, for statistical purposes, give them 33. Covington on the roll. Covington throwing, complete to Andre King, and he runs out of bounds nicely at the 44-yard line, picking up 12 and a first down with 59 seconds to go in the first half.
Frank, now you'll see Miami try to get a little bit more aggressive. Nice job on good pressure by BC. Really, Miami was flushing it in a design roll right into the pressure of the BC defense. You see the defensive player stunning to the left. Covington knows he has to get rid of the football a little bit quicker than he wanted to, but a great route on the outside by Andre King. A lot of cushion on the outside. See how he makes the DB turn and run, and now he comes out of his route to the outside and gets out of bounds.
From the 44, Covington out of the shotgun now. Blitz coming. Covington under pressure, and down he goes. The sack from number 98, Mike Willits. And Miami will spend their last time out.
That's the only thing that could hurt Miami in that situation was a sack. An incomplete pass doesn't hurt you there, but a sack does. And Mike Willits, number 98, comes through on the right side to sack Scott Covington. Nice pressure by the BC defense. They brought some outside people. You see linebackers coming from the outside, but Willis, number 98, comes right up the middle. He was helped, it looked like, by number 54, Scott Bradley, on the outside. BC Eagles doing a nice job with 53 seconds left to go before halftime.
Yeah, but Martin Bibla just could not handle Mike Willits. Bibla in at the guard position, the freshman who started the first couple of games of the year, and then gave way to Damon Neely, but Neely out of the ball game right now. 53 seconds left to go. BC with all their timeouts. Miami has used up theirs, and they have a 2nd and 20 at their own 34-yard line. So it was a great first quarter for Miami, but as you said, John, things have come to a screeching halt here in the second quarter as the penalties have started to pile up, and BC's defensive coordinator, Tim Rose, coming up with a couple of wrinkles that seem to have fooled the Hurricanes' young offensive line. Covington with good numbers on the night and the 1 touchdown to Darryl Jones. So Miami has piled up a lot of yardage and 3 early touchdowns. They scored the first 3 times they had the ball.
Well, just last week, Frank, when West Virginia got off to that quick start, Miami's offense had to play catch-up, and I think they did that the entire game. Their level of intensity was up, and I think after they got off to such a big lead, I think they kind of lost that edge they had, and they're letting Boston College, they're almost playing to Boston College's level right now, and they're letting them creep into the game and kind of just hang around instead of really knocking them out.
I don't think there's any question about it. The intensity level went down after that first quarter. Give to James. James bursting through at the 40. James to midfield, and he might have gone had he not slipped down at the 48-yard line. Canes will have to hurry up with 43 seconds left to go. Pick up a 14 on that play for Edgerrin James, and he could have had a lot more.
He was on his way to the end zone, Frank.
They readjust Santana Moss to the top part of the screen. Covington with pressure coming. Reggie Wayne on the outside, tried to get it out of bounds and did, as he put the football down at the 42 of Boston College. So that gives Miami a first down with 26 seconds left to go in the first half.
Credit the run by Edgerrin James. He did a nice job of making people miss on the inside. A couple arm tacklers. He runs right through them, gets the ball in a great position where they can come back, drop back, and throw Reggie Wayne on the out. Now the Miami Hurricanes moving the football at the 42-yard line with 26 seconds left to go before halftime.
Moss and Wayne to the top of your screen. Andre King to the bottom. Frank's the tight end in motion. Blitz coming from BC. Miami picks it up well. Covington deep down the middle and overthrows Santana Moss, who had Jonathan Ordway beaten. Well, you don't think BC would be in a position to give up the long ball. You think they'd be sitting back and letting Miami complete it underneath with no timeouts and 26 seconds to go, but Moss got behind Ordway.
I think what Scott Covington did was really just with his eyes trying to move that free safety. He just didn't have a feel for where his receiver, Santana Moss, was going to end up. It looked like he was going to come across the free safety's face, and as the ball was let go, it looked like Santana went behind the free safety, and that's what happened on the pass play down the football field. Covington tried to hold it as long as he could.
On 2nd and 10, Covington on the rollout. Again throwing deep.
He's got him.
He's got Andre King, overthrows him in the end zone. Boy, BC's pass coverage is just awful the last 2 plays, but the Hurricanes have not been able to take advantage.
Frank, as you said, you would think it'd be difficult to get behind BC with just 12 seconds left to go before halftime. Miami has done it twice, and they've been 0 for 2, but they had 2 golden chances. This one was the better of the 2. Covington puts a lot of air under the football, but just leads his wide receiver, Andre King, a little bit too far inside the middle, towards the middle of the football field. If that's up the hash or closer to the numbers, it's an easy 6 points.
Now, Tom O'Brien cannot be happy with his defense the last 2 plays.
Frank, I'd like to see Miami come and throw an out or a quick hitch to one of the top receivers and get out of bounds here.
Covington out of the shotgun. Over the middle for Moss, who cannot make the catch, and throw behind him. And that'll bring up 4th down with 8 seconds to go. So now really, John, you just throw it up and they Hail Mary it to the end zone.
Or they're going to give Andy Crossland an opportunity to go onto the football field. Now they're pulling him back, and you're right, Frank, they're going to give the Miami wide receivers an opportunity. Now Butch has changed his mind again. It looked like
he's going to punt.
The kicker's coming back onto the football field.
He's going to try the field goal. I'm sorry. Popovich is on as the holder. So they're going to give Crossland a shot at this from about 60 yards away. His career long is 50.
I think they have 12 people out on the football field.
Well, they've got a wide receiver to the top of the screen, and it is a fake. Crossland, flag down, throwing for Bubba Franks, led him too far out of bounds, and a flag down back at the 44-yard line. 2 seconds still left to go in the half. It's holding on Miami. So again, a penalty on special teams would have negated the play. It was an incomplete pass, so Boston College now will have a crack from their own territory.
The fake on 4th down, and you give the ball in the hands of Andy Crossland. He looks like he wants to play quarterback. He's auditioning out there. I don't know. I'd rather see him throw it down there with the offensive team. You're not going to really fool anybody on that type of play, but Butch tried to roll the dice with the special teams play. I kind of want to give the ball to a more proficient quarterback, and Scott Covington put some receivers out there and chuck it down the football
Precisely.
field.
Throw it up in the end zone and see what's going to happen. I'm not letting my kicker throw the football. I don't think you really fool anybody with lining up for a 60-yard field goal attempt. They'll give it to Cloud, who bursts through. Mike Cloud will get to the Miami 40, but that'll do it for the half. That's Cloud's longest run by far, as he picked up 17 yards, and that'll pad his numbers. But Miami has done a good job shutting down Mike Cloud in the first half. Butch Davis will go to the locker room off a 21-point first quarter. Miami leads it 21-7 over Boston College. We'll be back for our halftime activities at the Orange Bowl on a Halloween night right after this. Back at halftime at the Orange Bowl as we get ready for the second half kickoff. The Hurricanes leading 21-7 over the Boston College Eagles, and the first half numbers certainly bear out Miami's early domination in this game as the Canes were piling up yardage, scoring the first 3 drives, and you see the rushing yardage, and Boston College held to 80 yards rushing in the first half, and 19 of those came on the last play of the half, which was kind of a give-up just to run the clock out by the Miami defense.
Yeah, the Miami offense, 16 first downs in the first half, 183 yards rushing. Thought the defense did a great job holding Cloud's yardage to a minimum, and the pass yardage for BC, only 49 yards. But the penalties really did kill Miami in the second quarter. They were very lethargic moving the football offensively, but defensively still played tough throughout the half.
And actually the time of possession was 15 minutes even for both sides. So each team sharing the football for 13 minutes. Your individual numbers from the first half: Scott Mutrin, pretty quiet first half aside from the touchdown pass. Again, the Clouds' 19-yard run at the end of the half. Otherwise, 13 carries for 35 yards. So Miami doing a great job there. You see Scott Covington with a great first half, and Edgerrin James with plus 100 yards.
Yeah, Covington and James, the story for Miami. I thought Covington still running the offense as he's done all season. Very good, very aggressively in the running game. The offensive line did a nice job coming out to start the football game.
We'll see if there are more fireworks in the second half. We're getting ready for the second half kickoff. We'll be right back from the Orange Bowl right after this. University of Miami football on Sports Channel is being brought to you in part by your South Florida Chevrolet dealers. Chevy's got something for you. By Hip Health Plan of Florida. So where do you get your health care? And by Pro Player Sports Apparel. You have a life, look good in it. Oh, Beavis and Butthead, which is what some people call John Congemi and I suppose. But
go ahead, you use those words loosely.
That fake field goal at the end of the first half, Andy Crossland, we were told, got his bell rung and was feeling a little bit woozy. And again, John and I questioning really the sense of that play, the fake field goal for lining up for a 60-yard field goal try on a 4th down and 10 from the 42-yard line of Boston College, and they got a holding call to boot. But Crossland didn't look like much contact there, but apparently hit his head on the ground. But anyway, he did not warm up for the second half. Todd Severs will kick it off to begin the second half. This is Jermaine Walker from the goal line. Jermaine Walker away from one Hurricane and gets out to the 20-yard line. Jeff Popovich on another special teams tackle for the Hurricanes. As you look at Scott Mutrin and the Boston College offense, scoring their lone touchdown in the second quarter and cutting into Miami's 21-0 lead at that point. Mutrin 6 of 9 in the first half. And the Miami defense, for the most part, did a great job. The one score Boston College got came when they started at the Miami 32-yard line after a very short punt. And a bit of a delay as referee John Smith Jr. will reset the play clock, I believe. And we're ready for the third quarter to begin from scrimmage. Boston College with the double wide out to the bottom of the screen. The tight end Tardio set to the right of the formation. Hutzler and Cloud, the running backs behind Mutrin. The fake to Cloud. Mutrin down the sideline. Tardio, the tight end, and the ball knocked away at the last moment by Michael Smith, the linebacker in coverage.
We talk a lot about Nate Webster and Dan Morgan in the trio to round out the linebackers. Is number 59, Michael Smith, did a nice job of great timing. He must have anticipated the ball had to get there because he was running out of real estate. He almost ran him into the BC bench, the wide receiver. You see the tight end going down the football field in nice timing, just really sticking up his hand, reading the receiver's eyes in action. Nice job by Michael Smith on the outside in coverage.
2nd and 10 for BC. Fullback Utzler motioning. And they give to Cloud. Puts his head down and will not get much, about a yard. Just swarmed under there by the Miami defensive front. Damian Lewis in there. And Matt Sweeney helping out. So it'll bring up 3rd and long for Boston College. 3rd and a little more than 8.
Haven't mentioned the defensive linemen too much in this ballgame, but they've done a nice job controlling that big and aggressive offensive line for Boston College. Not a lot of running room for Mike Cloud in that first half.
3 wide receivers in for BC on 3rd and long. It's DeWalt in motion. The fake to Cloud. Mutrin on the rollout, steps up, hits his tight end Tardio. He'll have a first down, takes a big hit from Nate Webster, but Tardio has the first down up close to the 35-yard line.
Well, thank goodness Rob Tardio is 6'5", 245, because Nate Webster put a helmet on a helmet that time. Nice concentration and good possession of the football by Tardio. Mutrin comes back after the play action and figures, I can't get the first down, so I'm going to flip it out to my big tight end, and he got whacked going down the middle of that football field by number 52, Nate Webster, from that middle linebacker position.
13:44 to go, 3rd quarter. Miami up 21-7, just underway here in the 2nd half. Opening possession for Boston College. First down from just shy of their 35. Fake to Cloud on the rollout. Mutrin stepping up. Matt Sweeney after him, and Matt Sweeney has the sack back at the 31-yard line of Boston College.
Make it 3 sacks on the season for Matt Sweeney. Nice job of never giving up, getting to the quarterback. Boston College very slow in their play action faking on the counter play. That allows the defensive front to get into that backfield. Watch how long it takes for this fake to happen. He goes to the outside and has success stepping up in the pocket early in the first quarter, but now in the second half, the defensive linemen catch on, and Matt Sweeney comes in for the sack for the Hurricane defense.
Loss of 4. 2nd and 14, Boston College. From the I formation, tight end Ellis in motion. To give to Cloud. Cloud trying to turn the corner. Cloud chased down and will go down at the 35-yard line with Edward Reed making the tackle. Pickup is 4. It'll bring up 3rd and just about 10.
Dan Morgan, number 44, made Mike Cloud stop and start again, and that gave enough time for Edward Reed to come from the secondary. He used his speed for Butch Davis and that defensive staff to get inside and tackle Mike Cloud before he could get it going again.
Canes go with the dime defensive package now. Delvin Brown and Jeff Popovich in as extra defensive backs as we take a second look at the force from Morgan, and then Edward Reed filling on the run support. On 3rd and 10. Mutrin on the rollout. Chased by Burrow. Mutrin will pull it down and run, and Nate Webster has him at the 38-yard line. Held it to a gain of 4, well shy of the first down.
Credit to Miami secondary, Frank. They stayed in coverage and did a great job down the field. Mutrin had no choice but to tuck it and try to get the first down, and a nice tackle by Nate Webster on the outside. You see a lot of Canes in the backfield trying to chase down the quarterback. He's waiting for someone to break open, really knows he can't tuck it and run for the first down. Tries to get as much as he could, but there you see, flying in an orange jersey, Nate Webster on the tackle.
Jason Malecki to kick it away, and hopefully the Canes will not get a penalty on this punt return. And Ward going nowhere. Great deep coverage there on the special teams from number 86 of Boston College. That's Brian Arndt, the backup tight end. Well, at least there was no penalty. A 50-yard kick from Jason Malecki. We'll take a timeout. There's 11:28 to go, 3rd quarter. It's Miami 21, Boston College 7.
Hey, Mr. Science, ever wonder what a hard-working engine goes through? It gets the high rev, and I drove over the mountain because it was their guts kicked out of it. With abuse like that, you don't want to take chances. This is Quaker State 4x4, a synthetic blend for hard-working engines made by guys with more college degrees than they've had dates. It's been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I wouldn't lie to you. They're not paying me enough. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Well, if I had money, I'll tell you what to do.
During Ford truck season, things are getting crazy. Lease a 1999 F-150 Super Cab XLT for just $233 a month. That's right, the only pickup that comes with 4 doors standard, only $233 a month, with power windows and locks, AC, aluminum wheels, and more. Ford truck season. Check it out, because you can't afford not to drive a Ford.
Sports Channel Florida is your ticket to college football game day. Tune in every Saturday at 10 for Saturday morning college kickoff, a pregame guide to the hottest college matchups. It's all right here on Sports Channel Florida. 11:28 to go, third quarter. Frank Fort and John Congemi with you. Hi, Rona. You little devil, you.
That's right.
Rona getting some camera time tonight. One of the local photographers does a wonderful job. 11:28, as I said, to go third quarter. Miami leading 21-7. And, John, Miami would like to regain control of this game because you're in a situation right now where, one bad play, one big mistake, and it's back to a one-touchdown game. You want to kind of reestablish what happened in the first quarter.
And they can do that using that offensive line. If they come out in the third quarter like they did to open this football game, they will take control of this game.
One first down from the 15. Toss to James. Has some blockers in front. James to the 20, to the 21-yard line. Picks up 6 on first down. Number 6, Ramon Johnson's backup safety making the tackle, helped by Steve Martin, number 55.
Frank, most of the time when you see Edgerrin James on that toss play, you'll see number 62 and number 36, Richard Mercier and Nick Williams, out in front of Edgerrin James. This time they had great success getting out in front. Also number 77, Robert Hall. They do a good job of turning it out and kicking everybody out of the way. Edgerrin James does the rest with a 7-yard run.
And a nice crackback block from Andre King. Nick Williams, the fullback, in motion on 2nd and 4. James skips through the hole, and look out. Edgerrin James across the 30, tripped up by Ordway as he got across the 35-yard line, and Ordway might have saved the touchdown. And one of the officials is down back at the Miami 28-yard line. I think the umpire got run over. Those umpires, that is the official that stands in back of the defensive line right near the middle linebacker, and he's always in a lot of traffic.
Yeah, and that time Edgerrin James would have made everyone miss, including the umpire there. Edgerrin James did a nice job of tiptoeing through the middle of this football field. Watch him make 3 different moves to the outside. Here's one. He makes the first BC defender miss. There's 2 on Willie Wright with a nice block by Bubba Franks. And then a nice job cutting it straight down the football field, down the hash. Edgerrin James making a lot of Boston College arm tackler or would-be tacklers miss right in beside the tackle zone. Watch this right here. 1, right outside, and he stays on his feet. 2, he keeps going straight down the football field. Now he decides to take it north and south, and he gets tackled by Jonathan Orway, or slowed up by Jonathan Orway, or number 5, Edgerrin James, is going to the house. You see this evening, 22 rushes, 137 yards. Edgerrin James is only averaging 96 yards per game, well over that, a 6.2 average tonight, and 2 scores.
Carl Crawley, the umpire, is the gentleman there helping up off the turf of the Orange Bowl. And rubbing the left knee. Oh, spit on it a little bit, rub it, it'll be okay.
Tape an aspirin to it, and he'll be fine.
I'll tell you what, the umpiring position is really the toughest in football because there's so much traffic that you've got to avoid, and at the same time, watch what you're responsible for watching.
Yeah, and also you got to watch out for the quarterbacks too. Oftentimes you see on crossing routes and little dump plays over the middle, balls flying off of the umpire trying to go downfield. So he's got a big job and a big task in the middle of that football field.
I believe it's the first time we've seen this crew this year, John, at least on our broadcast, the John Smith Jr. Led crew. First down for the Hurricanes from their 40-yard line. 10:38 to go, third quarter. Nigel Fulcher, the double tight end. He was the man in motion. This time James is going to go nowhere. In fact, he'll lose a yard. Hit in the backfield by George White, the safety coming up on run support.
BC on first down that time, Frank, decides that they're going to pressure Miami. They had 8 people up to real close to the line of scrimmage, challenging on the outside. Take a look, Miami, if they do move the chains or get another situation like that, it's a great opportunity to go one-on-one on the outside where Miami matches up in a skill position much better than Boston College.
We're told that James Jackson, the other Hurricane running back, left hamstring strain, and he will not return this evening. On 2nd and 11, Covington to throw. Good protection. Throws it a little bit short, but Santana Moss came back and made the catch about a yard shy of the first down up at the 49-yard line of the Hurricanes, so it'll bring up 3rd and short for Miami.
Looked like Scott was ready to throw the football before Santana Moss got out of that break, but what he did was good. He kept retreating from the line of scrimmage. Santana looks like he's going to give the DB a fade route. He gets him into the backpedal, and you see the DB run right by him. Santana Moss comes back to the football, and it'll be just short of the first down by 1 yard.
3rd and 1 for the Canes. A little bit short of their 49-yard line. Fulcher, the tight end, in motion. They go the other way to James. He'll have a first down into Boston College territory to the 46-yard line. Tackle from Willie Wright, and we've called his name a whole lot tonight, the senior out of Fort Lauderdale St. Thomas Aquinas High School.
Willie's going to be tired after this football game, Frank. He's been in on a lot of tackles for Tom O'Brien's Boston College defense, but a lot of tackles beyond the line of scrimmage because that offensive line is doing a nice job providing holes for Edgerrin James. This time he goes inside, right over the guard center gap, in tight, in traffic, gets the first down for the Hurricanes.
1st and 10 from the BC 46. 9 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Miami with a 21-7 lead here on Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. Fulcher in motion again. Give to James. James across the 45, 40, and down he goes there. George White on the tackle, helped out by 55 Steve Martin, who made the initial contact. But a good gain on first down. Miami wins on first down there. We talk about that all the time, John, winning on first down, getting 4, 5, or 6 yards.
And I think Miami's decided to come out of the locker room and try to dominate the time of possession and try to beat Boston College in the second half by using Edgerrin James and winning on first down and running the football and playing a little bit more physical on first down.
2nd and 4 for the Hurricanes at the Eagle 40-yard line. Again, it's James running behind Richard Mercier. James moving the pile, gets down close to a first down at the 36-yard line, probably about a half a yard short. Mike Willits, number 98, the junior from Alexandria, Virginia, getting off the bottom of the pile. Credit him with the tackle, and again, it's a 3rd and 1 for Miami.
Like what the Hurricanes are doing, coming out and playing tough and aggressive in the second half. I think that's what Butch Davis really needed to do, and he's wanting his offensive team to get in and out of the huddle and try to get up to the line of scrimmage. Boston College right now looks a little lethargic, a little tired out on the football field. Miami clearly taking the advantage in the second half.
James, 26 carries, 152 yards so far in this game. Fulcher in motion. James again behind Mercier. Will have a first down and more inside the 30-yard line. George White, the safety, again forced to make the tackle, but Edgerrin picking up close to 7 yards, and again the Hurricanes move the chains for a first down.
I'm getting tired of looking at Richard Mercier come out. I'm tired for him. He's getting out in front of number 5, Edgerrin James, just like on every play, and just buries the Boston College secondary defender trying to come up and stop the play from the secondary. Edgerrin James, he should go and shake Richard's hand after this game and say, buddy, I saw your backside all day, and I'm glad I did.
6'3", 290, the junior from Montreal, Canada. Had the medical red shirt last year after the severe knee injury in the opening game of the season at Baylor. James again behind a good Nick Williams block. James to the outside, to the 25, and close to the 21-yard line. Chasing from behind was Scott Bradley, the linebacker, and then he got help. But again, at Hurricane offensive front on first down, John, moving and making holes, and Edgerrin James can pick where he wants to go.
And the most impressive thing, I think Boston College knows Miami wants to run the football on first down, and they're still having success. You pointed out Nick Williams, a nice job, a stalemate on the line of scrimmage. You see the tight end number 18, Mondrell Fulcher, doing a nice job getting a stalemate on the outside. Then it's all individual effort by Edgerrin James.
2nd and 2, Miami. Just shy of the Boston College 20. Nick Williams, the fullback, with his second carry of the night, gets inside the 20 and close to the first down. Adam Grace, number 92, met him there. And we may have to measure, or are they going to award him the first down? Referee John Smith Jr. takes a look, and he says, my time, and we'll bring the sticks on. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this third quarter. The Hurricanes eating up a lot of clock, and this is playing out just like Butch Davis would want it. The defense got to stop right out of the locker room. The offense takes over. They've moved from their own 15 into the red zone. Now if you punch it in here, you've taken a lot of time off the clock. Less opportunities for Mike Cloud and Scott Mutrin to get Boston College back in the game.
And you're going to take the life right out of BC because you're doing it physically. That defense has been on the field an awful long time, and so has Edgerrin James. He's going to slide out of the football game, and number 4, Najee Davenport's going to slide into the game. Watch a little bit more speed out of the backfield right now because Edgerrin was toting the rock all the way down the football field. Now you'll see a fresh back in the football game. He might be able to take it in the end zone with that extra rest.
from just inside the BC 20 and 6:14 left to go third quarter. First down Hurricanes. Davenport's first carry, pushing Mercier in front of him into the block and picks up 4 before Frank Chamberlain makes the tackle.
That's the difference, Frank, coming in cold from the sideline. Edgerrin James has been patient enough to let Richard Mercier get in front of him and be patient, let him kick out and then cut him behind. That time you want to get into the game. You haven't played in a couple of weeks. Najee trying to make it happen all on one play. Just needs to be patient and let the blocks take place and then cut off of them.
That's what Edgerrin James seems to be so good at, the patience in letting the blocking develop, and Najee will learn that. You see his yards per carry average,
large.
Very impressive. On 2nd and 6. Fake to Davenport. Covington over the middle to Franks, who overthrew him at the goal line. Franks double covered by a couple of BC defenders, George White and Ramon Johnson back there. And that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Canes.
We've seen that play a lot to the short side where the tight end will go down deep and the fullback will get out in the flat. That time, the tight end drew double coverage because the fullback got out late, and Scott Covington tried to just float it in and drop it in over the 2 defenders, but just a little bit outside, too far for Bubba Franks.
13th play of the drive upcoming. You see the numbers on the first 3 drives and then the last 4. No points since those first 3 drives. Mondrell Fulcher, the tight end, in motion. Covington play fakes. Covington holds over the middle. Wayne complete at the 5-yard line, and that'll be a Miami first down.
And Frank, really, there was nothing there on the outside. That play was purely an ad-lib. It looked like number 87, Reggie Wayne, was just going down on a quick slant, and then he didn't receive the ball right away, so he looked for the open area. Scott Covington had enough time to let him slide into the middle and then throw a rope down the short side of the football field, and it moves the chains again for the Canes. You see motion by Mondrell Fulcher. Really, they're trying to go to the fullback or the quick slant, but there you see he just slides into the zone, and Scott Covington had enough time provided by that offensive line.
Terrific throw by Covington. Triple tight end for Miami on first down and goal. Davenport following Mercier. Davenport to the corner, touchdown. Najee Davenport capping off an 85-yard Hurricane drive. That is his 4th touchdown of the season.
That time Najee had enough patience to wait for Richard Mercier to get out in front of him, deliver the block, then he cut out to the outside and used his speed to get in for his 4th touchdown on the season. You'll watch number 4 duck behind his fullback, Nick Williams, and then big number 62, Richard Mercier. The kick-out block to the outside enables number 4, Najee Davenport, to get in for the Hurricanes touchdown.
You mentioned the patience shown there. Andy Crossland in for the conversion, so apparently he's okay. Popovich holds. Crossland's kick is good. And with 4 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in the third quarter, Miami has increased their lead to 28-7 on this Halloween night in the Orange Bowl. The freshman, Najee Davenport, from 7 yards out behind superb blocking, and the Hurricanes have a 3-touchdown lead once again here at the Orange Bowl.
Hello?
Susan, it's Fred.
Hi. Are we still on for tonight?
Indeed. I have reservations at Chez Joseph.
Really? My place is always booked.
Well, Shay's a personal friend of mine. Pick you up at 7.
Okay. So, do you look as good as you sound?
Custom tailor your phone, pricing plan, and features only with OmniPoint. Call 1-800-BUY-OMNI.
Since Dodge Caravan's easy out roller seats have wheels that pop down, reconfiguring the interior is an exercise in convenience, not an exercise in exercise. Why don't all the other guys make it this easy? Go configure. Caravan, the new Dodge.
Kick off your Sundays with your own tailgate party at your house. Each week during the football season, Heineken will select 4 winners to receive an at-home tailgate party, complete with food and plenty to drink, and they'll even let you borrow a big screen TV, compliments of sound advice. Just stop by participating Heineken retail locations and fill out an entry form. Then tune into Sports Channel's Sunday Morning NFL to see who the weekly winners were. You could be next. Kick off your Sundays with Heineken. No purchase necessary. Must be 21 years of age or older to enter. See participating retailers for official rules.
Back at the Orange Bowl, Miami's 4th touchdown of the night. Richard Mercier finished the blocking, but it was great blocking inside, and then Mercier providing the last block for Najee Davenport.
Yeah, Bubba Franks and Joaquin Gonzalez, 73 and 88 respectively, did a great job. And there you see Richard Mercier going, I didn't score, but I provided the blocking that led to the score, and it led to a lot of tired faces on the Boston College sideline. Take a look down the line. Those guys are beat tired. 13 Willie right there you see in the screen. Those guys have been on the football field for quite a long time in the third quarter.
Todd Severs will kick it off. Jermaine Walker and Cedric Washington. As you see the scoring drive, 6:32, and I guarantee it felt a whole lot longer to that Boston College defense. They go with the short kick, fair catch called at the 30-yard line and made right there by Ellis, the backup tight end, Robert Ellis. Kind of a strange deal there because Miami's been doing very well on kickoff coverage, but Butch Davis changing it up, maybe hoping to catch Boston College asleep, because earlier this year they did exactly that play and recovered the ball when it hit one of the return players. BC will start 1st and 10 from the 32. Tom O'Brien's team trailing 28-7. Scott Mutrin, the quarterback, has 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends in the game, and the lone running back, Mike Cloud. They give it to Cloud. Cloud goes nowhere. Michael Burrow hit him in the backfield, and then Derek Ham came up to finish him off. Give Cloud a gain of perhaps a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9 officially from the 33.
I think the 2 biggest qualities that Derek Ham and Michael Burrow possess are their quickness off the football. They can really make those tackles very nervous. Even on running plays, they can get around you and use their speed to get around inside and cut in front of the offensive tackles and create havoc behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. Canes go with the nickel defense. Mutrin, straight drop. Over the middle, caught by Tardio up at the 43-44-yard line. That's enough for a first down for the Eagles.
Nice job by Scott Mutrin. Really a lot of room on the inside. You'll see nobody in the lanes up the middle for the University of Miami. The BC offensive line creating a lot of vision up the middle of the football field. An easy pitch and catch from quarterback to tight end.
Well, there was certainly a huge passing lane there. Miami was running a double game with the tackles and the ends, and there was a lot of room for Mutrin to step up and deliver. Gain was out to the 44. 3:56 left to go third quarter. 28-7 Miami. Boston College with a first down. Give to Cloud. Cloud across the 45 out to the 49-yard line. Nate Webster on the tackle for Miami. The pickup is about 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
The right guard, number 73, Dan Collins, really blocked Nate Webster right into the tackle. Did a nice job of keeping his feet. It was a good block by Dan Collins, but really pushed number 52, Nate Webster, right into the ball carrier. Right in the middle of your football screen, 52, Nate Webster right there. You see the kick-out block, and he swims, actually. Dan Collins does a nice job of eluding the big offensive lineman and getting to the ball carrier.
BC with the 3 wide receiver set. On a 2nd and 5. Mutrin to throw. Quick 3-step drop, complete to DeWalt, and he's inside the Miami 40. Nate Brooks had the initial coverage. Delvin Brown forced to make the tackle as Dedrick DeWalt makes his 6th catch of the season.
That's a perfectly thrown ball by Scott Mutrin on the quick slant to the upfield shoulder. That was nice coverage by Nate Brooks. You'll take a look. He did a good job in positioning the football upfield. You see there, Brooks is all over the back. If that ball's thrown from the middle of the receiver's chest to the back, Brooks is going to bat it down, but it's a nice ball up the field by Scott Mutrin.
First down at the Miami 37-yard line, 2:49 to go third quarter. On the counter play, Cloud chased down by Nate Webster, who holds it to a gain of 2 yards. Webster was coming and read the counter play, made a nice tackle.
Looked like the play was there to the outside. Mike Cloud hasn't had a lot of running room, and tonight his vision might be nothing but orange jerseys, because if he stayed off left tackle, it looked like the hole was there. He decided to cut it back into the middle, right into Nate Webster.
2:18 and the clock moving here in the third quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Eagles. Ball just inside the Hurricane 35 from the shotgun. Mutrin steps up. Derek Ham chases him. Mutrin runs out of the pocket and will pick up about 4 yards as Damian Lewis made the tackle. Derek Ham, oh so close to his 2nd sack of the night. Miami has 2 on the evening, 1 by Ham, 1 by Sweeney.
And Nate Webster made Scott Mutrin pay a vicious shot in the back, it looked like, by Nate Webster. Mutrin has had success stepping up into the pocket and tucking in and run, but he has to get down a little quicker when there's a lot of orange jerseys coming his way. Right there, you see Nate Webster coming in like a bullet, and that's going to hurt probably a little bit later this evening.
3rd and 4 for Boston College at the Miami 31. 3 wide receivers in. Miami shows blitz, flag comes down. It looked like Tardio, the tight end, simulated the snap. Miami was pointing at him, and the officials do throw the flag.
James, 3rd down.
Man, right at the bottom of the screen.
No hesitation there by the officials. Clearly the tight end, Rob Tardio, at 6'5", it's tough to hide when you're moving forward.
So that'll move it from a 3rd and 4 to a 3rd and 9. Only the 2nd penalty on BC tonight for 10 yards.
They're a well-coached team by Tom O'Brien. They're just getting outmanned, and that defense was on the football field for such a long time. We're zipping through this 3rd quarter. BC 3rd and 9 with 1:10 left to go, and it looks like they're going to take a timeout and talk about it, Frank.
Yeah, they had a replacement come on the field late. Cloud wasn't sure whether he should leave the game or not. And you see Tom O'Brien looking at one of his offensive coaches and saying, hey, what happened?
And he said, it wasn't me, Coach.
Not my fault, man. 1:07 left to go 3rd quarter. This is key for Boston College because if they can't convert here and get some points, as you mentioned, John, that Miami offense has been wearing down BC's defense, and I don't know how much gas the BC defense has left. Basketball fans, it's time to get on board and order your season tickets now. Both Canes men's and women's teams went to the NCAA tournament last year. You can see great Big East basketball action at a great price. Call 305-284-CANES or 1-800-GO-CANES for basketball tickets today. We look forward to seeing Leonard Hamilton's team in action and Fern Labate with the women. Both did a great job last year getting to the NCAA tournament. And that's a sign of a good program when both the men's and women's team can get into the big dance.
Well, that's exciting, especially for the coaches and the fans and the players. You know, a lot of exciting things expected by both of those teams.
Well, that's great for Miami. The men's team is picked 3rd in the preseason Big East, and when you consider that a short 5 or 6 years ago they went 0-18 in the Big East.
That's right, they were doormats, and now they're stepping up. A lot of those young kids are juniors and seniors now, so they expect a lot out of them this year.
Tim James, one of the most exciting players in the country. Got a great supporting cast with the likes of Mario Bland, Johnny Hemsley, and some exciting freshman point guards in Michael Simmons and Paulo Coelho. But right now, it is football time, and it is 3rd and 9 for Boston College with 1:07 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Miami with a 28-7 lead. A big 21-point first quarter. And since then, it's turned into a trench war. Miami scoring here in the 3rd quarter on an 85-yard drive. So they've only had the ball once in the 3rd quarter, but they cashed in.
You'd like to see some push by Damian Lewis and Matt Sweeney up the middle. That's where Mutrin has hurt them, stepping up in the middle of the pocket and finding his tight end, Rob Tardio.
3rd and 9 out of the shotgun. Mutrin again steps up, delivers over the middle, wide open, and he dropped it. Well, that should be a first down inside the Miami 10, but it is not because Mike Cloud dropped the football.
And Mike Cloud has caught the football a lot this season. 17 catches for 152 yards, and that's exactly the matchup they wanted. He comes out of the backfield and delays, acts like he's going to fly out to the right and runs right by Webster, the middle linebacker. All he has to do is idle down and catch the football, and he'll fall inside the 10-yard line. And you see the reaction of Tom O'Brien. It looks like it's going to be a great play, and all you can do is pull your hair out.
John Madich, out of Tim Hasselbeck's hold, 54-yard field goal. A reminder that Hasselbeck is the backup quarterback. Madich will kick it. He's got plenty of distance, and it is good. 53 yards officially on the field goal for John Madich. Plenty of leg on that one. So BC does get points out of the drive, and with 58 seconds left to go 3rd quarter, it's Miami 28 and Boston College 10.
Take a look at that 3rd down attempt. Mutrin's reaction. He knows he's got a successful play down the middle of the football field, and then he sees the reaction of the drop, and he can't believe it because he's been taking a pounding trying to tuck it and run. This time there's nothing you can do but bury your head underneath the Orange Bowl turf.
Scott Mutrin, the senior quarterback out of Middleburg Heights, Ohio, getting on the phone to the offensive coordinator. But John Madich with a very strong kick there from 54 yards out. And as I look at the flag, there's not much wind right now. It's about 8 miles an hour at Madich's back at the start of the game. Getting a little bit of a breeze up here, but it's not like he's got a gale at his back. I mean, he did that pretty much on his own.
Matic, I was watching him in pregame warm-ups. He was consistently kicking it from 50 and 52 and 53 yards. He's got a strong leg, and he proved it there, trying to get BC back in this football game at 28-10.
Good look at Matic, as Santana Moss and Najee Davenport will go back to the goal line for Miami. Matic, a 6'2", 203-pound junior out of San Diego, and well, you look at him on that shot, he doesn't look like he's 203 pounds soaking wet with a rock in his pocket.
He's hiding it, Frank. He hides it very well.
58 seconds to go, third quarter. Frank Fort and John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. Here's the kick from Matic. Again, hits that low line drive, and it's picked up by Moss at his 8. Santana looking for a lane across the 30, 35-yard line, and that's where he stepped out of bounds. Miami will start 1st and 10 with pretty good field position. Jonathan Ordway credited with the special teams tackle for the Eagles. And Scott Covington brings the Miami offense back onto the field with 48 seconds to go in the third quarter. Miami with a 28-10 lead. A couple of touchdown runs from Edgerrin James, one from Najee Davenport, and Covington, his 15th touchdown pass of the season, and 11-yarder to Darrell Jones. That came back in the first quarter.
I'd like to see Scott come back and play action on first down and try to hit something down the football field. Clearly, the Miami wide receivers are better players, better athletes than the corners from BC.
On first down, Edgerrin James back in the game, and he has the football. James looking for a hole. Still going and gets close to the 40-yard line as Adam Newman made the tackle for the Boston College defense. Helped out by Chris Hovan, number 95.
When Edgerrin gets it going, man, he can be a workhorse, and he can really make you pay on defense. He really doesn't shy away from contact. He's going to find the open area, but if he's kind of stuck in a corner, he's going to deliver the blow himself. Watch him lower the shoulder right there and go forward. That's a sign of a great back.
Second down for Miami and 5. We're under 12 seconds to play here in the third quarter. We'll see if Miami even runs it off. Motion from Williams. Covington fakes to James. Covington on the deep route. Darrell Jones knocked away by Ordway, who had good coverage. And that'll do it for the third quarter. We have reached 0-0 on the clock here at the Orange Bowl Halloween night in the OB. After 3 quarters of play, it's Miami 28, Boston College 10. We'll be right back on Sports Channel.
The Panthers take on the Islanders Monday night at 7.
Okay, it's time to drive to win. This year, the Dolphins are going to win some great prizes for the fans. With every great play, some lucky fan might win a 1999 Corvette from Tropical Chevrolet, a 40-inch Philips flat TV from BrandsMart, 2 tickets to Super Bowl 33, and much more. So let's get out there and win. Starting August 20th, pick up an entry form exclusively at Winn-Dixie or Winn-Dixie Marketplace. Then mail it in, and you're registered to win in the Miami Dolphins Drive to Win game.
Shop Winn-Dixie for these fine products.
Back at the Orange Bowl, it is Halloween night, and oh my goodness, is that Doug Flutie?
He let his hair down from the last time I've seen him.
I thought he had a game tomorrow against the Dolphins.
He's moonlighting down in South Florida tonight.
A lot of ghosts and goblins around the Orange Bowl, and certainly the ghost of the Hale Flutie is one of them, and the Hurricanes do not want to see a repeat of that. Other Big East games on this Halloween, Syracuse beating Pittsburgh. Sorry about that, John.
Yeah, just go to the Temple-Rutgers game. What are you doing with the first one?
Rutgers beat Temple 21-10. And Virginia Tech handing West Virginia their second straight conference loss, and that pretty much eliminates West Virginia from any hopes of a Big East title.
We talked about West Virginia earlier. It seems like they come out like a lion every year, and then they just fall to the back of the pack, and you take a look at the Big East standings. Really, Syracuse in control right now, and they will play Virginia Tech before they meet Miami, but Miami in control of their own destiny a little bit. If they can take care of business in the next couple of weeks, they'll set up that big match up in the Carrier Dome against Syracuse.
See Virginia Tech at 7-1, and boy, you look back at that loss against Temple.
Heartbreaking.
And that's just really got to stick in their craw. Ready for fourth quarter here at the Orange Bowl. We'll begin with a 3rd and 5 for the Hurricanes from their own 40. Santana Moss in motion. BC comes with pressure. Covington delivers to Moss at midfield. Moss will get into BC territory and then get down and guard the football. Tackle from Jonathan Ordway, who's been a busy young man tonight. And Miami moves the chains to begin this fourth quarter.
That was a great call on third down. He had three choices, Scott Covington did. He could have went to his tight end or his fullback in the flat. He decided to dump it, take the easy pass to Santana Moss, and he'll make something happen in the middle of that football field. A lot of room to run. Santana Moss converts on third down.
1st and 10 Canes at the Boston College 48. Edgerrin James again. James trying to get outside, and he's dumped it midfield for a loss of 2. I think that's one of those plays where Edgerrin should have just taken what he could get, put his head down into the pile as George White makes the play for a 2-yard loss. The numbers through 3 quarters, and look at the rushing yardage for Miami.
Yeah, and look at the total yards, 405 yards. They're doing a terrific job, 20 first downs, and that defense is limited. Really, BC's offense, only 87 yards through the air, but Miami's offensive line, the story, dominating on the ground, 255 yards rushing.
Well, that time Boston College wins on first down, brings up a 2nd and 12. So we'll see what the Hurricanes have out of the 3 wide receiver formation, with James the only running back. Showing blitz, Boston College. Here they come. Give to James. They caught him in the blitz. James skips to the outside and is close to first down yardage where they have it marked. He should have a first down at the 38-yard line.
By the defensive scheme that time, Frank, really was perfect, the perfect play call for Miami, because the linebacker showing pressure to the outside. All the tackle has to do is step out and push him out. It creates a huge hole, and you'll see 75, Damon Neely, just run up the field and try to get in front of Edgerrin James. A nice play call, bad play call defensively. It really played right into the hands of Edgerrin James in that offensive line.
And you see, as we do almost every week, the good blocking by Miami's receivers downfield, enabling James to get that extra 5 yards and a first down at the Boston College 38. Covington, 3-step drop, and throws an interception. Just a poor throw, picked off, and the ball knocked away out of bounds by Santana Moss as the interception made by DeJuan Daniels.
Scott would like to have that one back. It was a quick hitch. Only the problem with that hitch was he threw it up the field. You have to throw it to that backside shoulder, and DeJuan Daniels really looked like the intended receiver. He didn't step in front of number 6 Santana Moss. He really just played the ball. The ball was thrown right to him, and the ball was thrown too far up the field. A nice play by Moss, batting the football away from Daniels, but BC will control the football on offense now, and you see Scott looking up the football field. He thought he threw it enough behind the wide receiver, but he threw it to the upfield shoulder, resulting in the interception.
First down Boston College at their 43. So BC with creating their first turnover of the night. Mutrin to throw. Stepping up, and Derek Ham pulls him down from behind. Mutrin might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but Derek Ham with his 2nd sack of the night.
Derek Ham relentless on that defensive end spot. He does a nice job. His 2nd sack of the evening, as you said, Frank. Top of the screen, he just beats the left tackle, it looked like. Just strength. Ran right through the offensive tackle for BC and did a nice job. That time there was no escape up the middle of the football field for Mutrin.
Ham beating Michael Cook, the 2nd unit offensive tackle, sophomore at Walpole, Massachusetts. It was a loss of a yard, so it was officially a sack for Derek Ham. 2nd and 11 from the shotgun. Mutrin to the outside, threw it low to Cloud and incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Credit the pressure from Michael Lawson, number 97. Mutrin really couldn't step into that throw that time to the outside. Lawson rushing very strong up the football field. Mutrin had no room in that pocket to maneuver.
3rd and 11 for Boston College. By the way, the interception by Covington, only the 3rd he's thrown this year.
He's done a nice job protecting the football all year, Scott Covington.
3rd and long for Boston College. They'll operate out of a shotgun with 3 wide receivers. They give to Cloud. Cloud tackled by Dan Morgan, shy of the 50 and shy of the first down by about 4 yards.
You can't beat these middle linebackers in the linebacking core of the Miami Hurricanes. Dan Morgan that time, they do not miss many tackles in the open field. And on a good back, Mike Cloud, Dan Morgan really goes down and shoestring tackles Mike Cloud short of the first down. Looked like it was going to be a big play. No one in the middle, but there you see number 44 does a nice job. Dan Morgan, I want to see 2 linebackers better than Morgan and Webster in this country, because I don't think they're out there.
Malecki hangs it high. Edward Reed catches it at his own 4-yard line. Not a smart play by Edward Reed, and he'll get back to the 10, and that's it. There's timeout on the field with 12:11 left to go in the fourth quarter. It's Miami 28, Boston College 10. We'll be right back at the Orange Bowl after this.
The greatest lawns of America have a look, a feel that can come from only one place.
It's good to touch the green, green grass of home.
True Green Chemlawn, where the grass is always greener. For a free lawn analysis, call us today.
Dilbert for Office Depot.
Our newest fan policy is to have subordinates appraise their boss's job performance.
I give you a D-.
Did I mention retribution?
Careful, sir. You're hanging by a thread.
For A-plus technology at guaranteed low prices, come to Office Depot. Over 600 convenient locations for computers and everything that goes with them. Hardware, software, printers, and more. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
It's Miami Hurricane football all season long on Sports Channel Florida. But the Hurricanes have 12 minutes and 11 seconds to take care of here tonight as they lead Boston College 28-10, and they have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Butch Davis and his running backs coach Don Solinger, the man closest to you with the headset on. Don, a longtime high school coach here in Miami, was on the Jimmy Johnson staff and then returned when Butch Davis came in to coach the Hurricanes. Very successful high school coach at Southridge, won some state championships, and it's Phantom of the Opera. Sing for us. Sing a number. Sing a tune.
Do something for us.
1st and 10 Hurricanes at their 10. Fulcher, the tight end, in motion. Canes go with the double tight end. This is Davenport. Davenport trying to turn the corner. Bounces off Ordway and out of bounds up at the 14-yard line. Picked up 4 on 1st down. Carlos Moore helping out on the tackle.
Najee may get the bulk or the balance of the end of this game with 12:05 left to go. He may see a lot of action. Najee's got the speed. Once he gets outside, Frank, he can make you miss and go the distance. And also, he's fresh. Edrin James played the bulk of the game, so Najee getting his opportunity to show the coaching staff he wants some more playing time.
Well, one thing he'll learn is stay in bounds when you've got an 18-point lead in the fourth quarter. You want to keep that clock moving. 2nd and 6 for the Hurricanes. Again, Davenport. Davenport, 15, 16, 17-yard line, carrying players. Mike Willits on the tackle, along with Adam Newman. It'll bring up 3rd and about 3 for the Canes.
Frank, very impressed the way the Hurricanes started the football game and the way they started the third quarter. I thought they did a nice job coming out and letting that offensive line dominate up front. They did it to start the football game, and they took it a long drive in the third quarter. Now they have to convert on 3rd and 2.
Approaching 11 and a half minutes to play. Miami needs to get to the 20-yard line to pick up a 1st down. They fake to Davenport. Covington on the roll.
Wide open.
Wide open. Fulcher at the 40. Fulcher to midfield. Mondrell Fulcher could not stay on his feet. Tripped up inside the 25-yard line. George White saving the touchdown, but a huge gain and a very nice play call on 3rd and 3.
Terrific play call. That time, Boston College, the defense, they committed to the run. They had probably 10 people within 5 or 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. A great play fake by Scott Covington. Does a nice job of looking downfield and finding Mondrell Fulcher. This is probably the toughest pass in football. You've got a wide open wide receiver and nobody within 5 to 10 yards. Mondrell tries to stop and then start again. But a nice job by George White, number 40, hanging on to his left foot, and trips up Mondrell Fulcher around the 22-yard line.
The gain was 60. Davenport across the 20. Still going. Najee Davenport trying to get his 2nd touchdown. No, out of bounds at the 2. A gain of 20 by Davenport. Carlos Moore saving the touchdown, at least for the time being.
A great effort by number 4, Najee Davenport, to try to reach the football over the pylon, over the goal line for a Hurricane score, but he did step out at the 2. Nice inside the tackle running. You see Najee squaring up his shoulders, puts his head down, then he gets spit out of the pile, and he's got some speed to come out of that pile, just getting pushed out of bounds by Carlos Moore, number 24, the free safety of the Eagles.
10:56 left to go. in the football game. Miami threatening again at the 2-yard line. This is Davenport following Mercier, and he has an easy touchdown. Boy, Miami's offensive line just washing down to the inside and wiping out the Boston College defense. I hesitate to say that even you or I might have scored that touchdown.
Yeah, please hesitate. I don't know if we could have gotten in, but number 4, Najee Davenport, he follows an escort of Nick Williams and Richard Mercier after the kickdown blocks of Joaquin Gonzalez and Damon Neely in for a touchdown. The Hurricanes gaining control of this football game, up 34-10.
Conversion upcoming. Pat Del Vecchio will snap, Jeff Popovich will hold, and Andy Crossland will kick. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is also good. 10:51 left to go, fourth quarter, as you look at Najee Davenport, the redshirt freshman from Miami Central High School, scoring his second touchdown of the night and his 5th of the season. It's Miami 35, Boston College 10. We'll be back on Halloween at the Orange Bowl after this.
Dodge Durango can tow up to 7,400 pounds, nearly half a ton more than its nearest competitor. That's 2 extra dirt bikes, 1 more great big water toy, or 1 more baby grand. Hey, my Durango tows more toys. Gonna lose his wimpy towing blues. Oh yeah.
Last Sunday, you went to an NFL game. You had 2 hot dogs and a beer. The girl next to you liked your pro player jacket. But just as she was feeling the sleeve, your girlfriend came back. You tried to explain that she was thinking of buying one for her dad. But you still got a kick in the shin.
Get all your favorite NFL team merchandise wherever Pro Player sports apparel is sold. Pro Player, you have a life. Look good in it.
35-10 Hurricanes, their 5th touchdown of the night, courtesy of Najee Davenport's 2-yard run, set up by a 60-yard pass from Scott Covington to Mondrell Fulcher, as Todd Severs will kick it off to Cedric Washington and Jermaine Walker. We're going to show you in a couple of minutes the Miami scoring drives tonight, and something that'll make the offensive coaches smile. As Severs kicks it deep to Walker. Walker 2 yards deep. Walker just gets across the 15-yard line as Wilbur Valdez, number 34, the backup fullback, makes the play for the Hurricane special teams. A couple of big plays leading to the touchdown by the Hurricanes, and first came on a 3rd and 5 situation as they fake the run to the outside, and you see Mondrell Fulcher come wide open to the middle of the field.
Well, you saw the man that was responsible for Mondrell Fulcher. He had his head looking in the backfield. He ran right by the big tight end, number 18. Fulcher goes down the sideline and almost gets into the end zone. He was just tripped up around the 15-yard line.
BC from their own 16. Double wide out to the top of the screen and double tight ends. The fake to the running back. Utrin running up in the pocket. He'll tuck it under and run. Michael Lawson chases him down, forces a fumble, but it looked like BC got it back. I think the center, Damian Woody, make it number 76 who got it back.
Darnell Alford, yeah.
Michael Lawson forced the fumble, and actually the recovery should give BC enough for a first down out to the 26-yard line.
Well, as a quarterback, Scott Mutrin, he's been taking a pounding, tucking the football down, and it's only a matter of time where you're going to take enough hits, and that ball's going to come loose. You see number 97, Michael Lawson, forcing the fumble from behind. And luckily, number 76, Alford for BC, gets on top of the football.
It was enough for a first down. 1st and 10 Boston College at their 26. Cedric Washington. Washington ran through a tackle of Jeff Popovich. Gets out to the 33-yard line, a pickup of 7. Coming up on 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, Miami holding a 35-10 lead.
Right now, Frank, Miami very content on defense to let Boston College run the football. And really, the defense has played spectacular. They've done their job, just as the offensive line and that offensive skill position guys for the University of Miami have done theirs.
Chevin Marshall in at middle linebacker, the true freshman for the Hurricanes, giving Nate Webster a breather. This is Washington again. Washington brought down by Marshall, but not before he reaches the 41-yard line and has a first down, a gain of 8 for Cedric Washington. As you look at Chevin Marshall, true freshman, 6'2", 230 pounds, out of South Dade High School. Has seen some limited playing time this year. Nate Webster obviously takes most of the snaps, but I think Marshall has a pretty bright future.
Very quick, very aggressive in the linebacker position. He has 11 total tackles on the season, so he has gotten some playing time.
BC goes with 3 wide receivers against Cedric Washington, the lone running back. Mutrin to throw. Mutrin again steps up over the middle. The Tardio is tight end, and he gets into Hurricane territory at the 45-yard line. Jeff Popovich making the tackle. That's a gain of 15 and a first down.
Adrian Wilson really made Scott Mutrin pay for that completion, and Scott Mutrin was really directing traffic to his tight end. Popovich did a great job of holding in the zone. You see Mutrin waving the tight end Tardio, say, get over to your left a little bit and get out of 33's vision. He did a nice job of hanging in that pocket, and you'll see number 96, Adrian Wilson, really bringing the quarterback down on this Orange Bowl turf.
Back to the I formation. Ryan Birch now the fullback. There's the give to Washington. Washington tackled by Popovich, who stepped up in the hole, and Michael Lawson helping out, and they hold it to a gain of a couple.
You see Jeff shaking his head. He had the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and he let Cedric Washington really run through it. And we talked about this in games that happened earlier in the season. Jeff Popovich has gotten a lot bigger and a lot stronger, and he's been a force on special teams, and he did a heck of a job last season, starting in much of the season at the strong safety position. But Jeff Popovich, an all-around player.
2nd and 8 for Boston College. Mutrin out of the shotgun this time. Mutrin stepping up, and Michael Lawson has the sack. Michael Lawson with his 2nd sack of the season, the senior out of Delray Beach, dropping Scott Mutrin for a loss of 5.
Michael Lawson, he's been sniffing the football all evening, especially in the second half. He's done a nice job stuffing the run and really getting rid of that Boston College, those big offensive linemen. This time, he uses his strength and power to slide around the offensive lineman. You see there, gets around Paul Laquerie and does a nice job on the sack, the 2nd sack of the season.
Another look at Michael Lawson. Good technique, and then just plants the quarterback. 3rd and 13 for Boston College. Mutrin out of the shotgun. Looking for a screen. Mutrin just throws it up, and it's caught by DeWalt. How that ball wasn't intercepted, I don't know. DeWalt making the catch at the 43-yard line. He's about 8 yards shy of a first down. As James Sutton made the tackle for Miami.
I think the most surprised person on the field is DeWalt, number 14. I don't know if that ball was intended for him. It looked like Cloud was coming out on the screen, and DeWalt was trying to come down and really run the secondary off. You see the screen set up in the middle, but number 21, Mike Cloud, gets caught up with his own offensive lineman, and that ball was up for grabs. Luckily for Boston College, it comes down in Dedrick DeWalt's hands.
Lucky to punt. Nick Ward standing back at the Miami 10. Ward signals for a fair catch and makes it at the 12-yard line. And that's where Miami takes over with 6:49 to go in the football game. There's a timeout on the field. The Hurricanes with a 35-10 lead. Miami has the football, and they are in control. Kenny Kelly will be the quarterback when we return at the Orange Bowl right after this.
When you want information about the Jaguars, Dolphins, and Buccaneers, you have to turn to Sports Channel Florida. Sports Channel has the best coverage of Florida's NFL teams on Sunday Morning NFL, presented by AutoNation USA. Sports Channel's experts give a fresh perspective about what's going on with the teams you care about. Broadcast live from one of Florida's 3 NFL home cities, Sunday Morning NFL is right in the middle of the action. Tune to Sunday Morning NFL, presented by AutoNation USA, every Sunday at 10 a.m. on Sports Channel's Sunday Morning Playbook.
Compete! Shark now, bounce it up, bounce it up, bounce it up. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The enigmatic coach of the Miami Dolphins is back in the hot seat on the Jimmy Johnson Show. The Dolphins have tested the boundaries, and this season the bar has been raised. Join Jimmy Johnson every week as he analyzes the Dolphins' opponents and gives you an insider's look into the Dolphins' strategy. The Jimmy Johnson Show, every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on Sports Channel and at 11:30 a.m. on NBC6.
Back at the Orange Bowl, and you take a look at Miami's scoring drives tonight on their 5 touchdowns. And John, the offensive coaches could not be any happier than this. 63 yards, 56 yards, 87, 85, and 90 yards. That is tremendous offensive football.
And you take a look at 2 of those 5, you see 12 plays and 14 plays. Anytime you can take a ball for 14 plays and 85 yards, consuming 6 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock. Miami's offensive line, the wide receivers, running backs, and the trigger man, Scott Covington, they must be doing their jobs. And there's a new trigger man in the Orange Bowl right now for the Hurricanes, and that's the freshman Kenny Kelly.
Freshman Kenny Kelly at quarterback. Freshman Najee Davenport is the lone running back. Double tight end to the top of the screen. And that's where they run. Davenport. Dropped from behind. Good tackle by Pat Feltz, number 10. No gain on the play. John, let's go back to the Miami defense now for just a moment. And Boston College is a pretty good offensive team. They've piled up a lot of points this year, and Miami certainly has held them in check tonight.
Miami's done a nice job defensively, and it all starts up front. I thought the defensive line didn't get intimidated by the size and the strength of that big BC offensive line. Actually, I thought they used their speed to their advantage. They got around the big bodies and made things happen, really shutting down the running ability of Mike Cloud.
And Miami will spend a timeout. Kenny Kelly walking to the sideline. Boston College averaging 28 points a game, and that includes one shutout by Virginia Tech on a really rainy, miserable night up in Chestnut Hill. So the weather had something to do with that, but they've averaged 28 points a game, Tom O'Brien's team, and Miami has held them to 10 so far tonight with 6 minutes and 12 seconds to play, and the one touchdown came on a very short field, only 32 yards.
And what has helped the defense is the offense. You can see there the total yards. Miami 506 yards total offense to Boston College's 225. I thought the Miami offense really helped the defense. They held the ball for 12 plays. They held the ball for 14 plays. And the Miami offense was on the field. That Boston College defense was on the field a lot longer than they should have been.
By the way, Scott Covington unofficially 17 of 27, 212 yards, one touchdown, and one interception. A very efficient night for Scott Covington. The 6th annual Hip Golf Classic to benefit the University of Miami Student Athlete Scholarship Fund will be held Monday, January 18th at the Weston Hills Country Club, a favorite track of my partner, John Congemi, by the way. Great golf for a great cause. Call 305-284-2491 today to get into the Hip Golf Classic.
Frank, do you think we can get Larry Wall to give us a call for that tournament, maybe?
We can lobby for that.
We can lobby. Let's lobby for that next
Larry
week.
Wall, the Associate Athletic Director. It's a 2nd and 12 for Miami. It was a loss of 2 on the last play on the tackle by Pat Feltz of Najee Davenport. So the line of scrimmage will be the Miami 10-yard line. It's Miami 35, Boston College 10. 6 minutes, 12 seconds left to go. Frank Fort and John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. A fine night for the Hurricane offense thus far. Over 500 yards. They've scored 5 touchdowns. 2 of those by Najee Davenport. 2 others, runs by Edgerrin James, and a touchdown pass from Scott Covington to Darrell Jones. Miami jumped off to a 21-0 lead in the first quarter of this game, scoring the first 3 times they had their hands on the football, and BC has never been able to recover from that. 2nd and 12. Kenny Kelly, the quarterback. Double tight end for Miami. Davenport, the lone running back. And busted play. Kelly running around in the end zone. Kenny looking to get out of bounds and will run out close to the 14-yard line.
Concentration, concentration, concentration. Kenny Kelly comes into the football game and comes out of the center, I believe, the wrong way and had enough athletic ability and speed to make up for it, to make it a positive play. But that's something that the coaches have to harp on you some way of getting into the football game. You have to concentrate. That's one play that they will come back to, and one player that they will count on is Edgerrin James, especially against BC. Take a look what he's done in 3 games, 77 rushes, 557 yards. He has 7 touchdowns and an average of 7.2 yards every time he touches the football.
3rd and 8 for the Hurricanes. We'll see if they play it safe or let Kenny throw the ball. Kelly will throw it. To the outside, wide open, complete up at the 35-yard line. And the catch made by Santana Moss as he's run out of bounds by Carlos Moore. Flag down, back by Kenny Kelly. And we may get a roughing the passer on this one.
Yes, we do.
And Kenny Kelly hanging in the pocket. And, John, let's go back to the previous play where Kenny ran out of the pocket. That's what athleticism can do for you. It can get you out of a bad play.
It really can, and that time Kenny Kelly shows his arm off a little bit. He did a nice job of just moving a little bit within the pocket. He saw Moss on the outside, really in the dead area.
Defense for 15 yards. Success from the end of the run. First down.
What Kenny Kelly did was drop the football in the dead area in the zone. There's going to be sometimes we have to show off that arm and hang in the pocket. That time, clearly a late hit after the whistle, but Kenny Kelly shows his toughness, hangs in there, and delivers the strike outside to Santana Moss.
Well, Brooke Heald with the late hit. He took about 2.5 steps to lay a lick on Kenny Kelly, so that'll cost BC an extra 15. And with 5:57 left to go, Miami has a first down at their 48. Again, the double tight end. And Najee Davenport, the only running back. Kelly bobbles the snap. Davenport picks it up. And Davenport will get that past the line of scrimmage and actually make a positive play out of it. A little adventure there for Miami.
You like how Larry Coker designs those counter plays. Now he's just kicking them off the ground. But that play was actually going to the right side. Fortunately for Miami, they pick up the loose ball off of the quarterback-center exchange. And take a look, that's where the play is going. It's a counter play to the outside, and Davenport does a nice job just picking the football off the grass and making a positive play. Just as Kenny Kelly came out the wrong side to give him the ball a couple plays ago, Davenport makes a play with his athletic ability.
He actually picked up 6 yards. Najee Davenport, 8 carries, 43 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Hurricanes. That ball actually kicked by one of the offensive linemen in the blocking scheme. But Davenport made something out of it. Kelly, 3-step drop to Darryl Jones. And Jones down to the 35-yard line of Boston College, where DeJuan Daniels made the tackle. And that is enough for a Hurricane first down as the completion picked up 11.
This defense has to be tired for BC, but execution is getting the better of them. The University of Miami, they've been able to run the football and pass it when they want to. Just a 3-step drop, a quick slant coming inside. Darryl Jones, a nice reception and a first down.
Darryl Jones having a career night for the Hurricanes. That play picking up 11 and a first down, and the clock moves with 5:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. And they're down to 6 on the play clock, and Kenny Kelly will have to spend a timeout. So a little learning on the job here by Kenny Kelly. Things that should not happen with a more experienced quarterback, but Kenny working his way into things. And, of course, as we've said many times on the broadcast, John, he will be the man next year.
Yeah, he's going to have to do it, and this is a great learning experience for Kenny Kelly. They're talking about getting the signals in. I don't think Kenny Kelly got the signals in the way he wanted to by Zachary Hart on the sideline. And you see the timeouts remaining. Boston College 2, and Miami only has 1. But Butch Davis trying to get his point across to say, listen, you know the plays, you know the formations. If you get half of the play in, you should be able to go in and be able to call a play and get us to the line of scrimmage and keep that clock running.
You mentioned a career night for Darryl Jones, 5 catches for 54 yards. He had 5 catches coming into the game on the season. So they have looked for number 1 tonight, the sophomore out of Dallas Carter High School. And Darryl Jones has the only touchdown reception of the night for the Hurricanes.
It looked like, Frank, from the beginning of this football game, the wide receivers were going to have a dominating night because it just looked like they were a little bit faster than the BC defenders, especially on the corners, and that's exactly what happened.
Well, BC missing their middle linebacker, Brian May, and also missing Pedro Serino the last couple of games, who's one of their top defensive backs. As you see Darryl Jones. And by the way, Darryl Jones, Santana Moss, and Reggie Wayne all have vowed not to get their hair cut until Miami wins a bowl game. And they're looking
they have some long hair.
They're looking pretty shaggy right now.
That's right.
Well, they're hoping it's going to be this season. I said they should amend it until Miami gets back to a bowl game after last season.
That's right. They should clean up at least before the game.
You see the Boston College Eagles, and it's been a tough night for them in the Orange Bowl. On first down, Davenport, not much there. Andy Romanowski, number 52, in on the tackle for the Boston College defense, and we haven't said his name a whole lot tonight. And for a middle linebacker in BC's defense, that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign when your defensive backs are getting called like Jonathan Ordway. He made a bunch of tackles early in this football game, and Willie Wright, an outside linebacker. So Boston College, they came in beat up a little bit, especially on the defensive side of the football. Miami has definitely taken advantage of that with the use of their offensive line.
You see the clock running with 4:40 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Hurricanes. And Will McPartland in the game at fullback, playing with a cast on his right hand. Kelly rolling out of the pocket. Kelly firing for the corner. Santana Moss made the catch, but he was out of bounds. Not a bad throw on the run, but led Moss just a little bit too much.
Well, that was a nice throw. Just ran out of real estate. It looked like Santana had enough time to take his route more to the inside. He runs a corner route, but he gets pushed outside off the line of scrimmage. That positioned him closer to the out-of-bounds line, to the end line, than he was used to being. He would have had enough room had he stemmed straight up the football field without getting pushed outside right off the ball.
You see how he dragged his feet, which was good technique. It was just about a foot out of bounds, but good presence of mind, good technique by Santana Moss. You see the Hurricanes on 3rd down tonight. They've been unbelievable. This is a 3rd and 10. Kelly with pressure coming. Fires it over the middle. Pass is tipped and nearly intercepted. Carlos Moore nearly had a pick after the ball was deflected. It'll bring up 4th down for the Hurricanes. And they'll bring the punt unit onto the field. Or maybe they're going to try another field goal, but it looks like the punt unit because Nate Brooks is out there, and he's one of the flyers on the punt coverage. Indeed, Andy Crossland lining up in punt formation. He'll try to pooch this inside the 10-yard line. BC has no one back to receive. They're in a major punt safe. Crossland can take his time. Going for the near side coffin corner, and it will drift into the end zone. BC will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. 4:15 left to go here at the Orange Bowl, and Boston College will take over 1st and 10, and we'll see if they're going to give their number 2 quarterback, Tim Hasselbeck, a look here, as it's been a long night for Scott Mutrin. And indeed, Hasselbeck seems to be in the offensive huddle as they bring it onto the field. Hasselbeck, the son of Don Hasselbeck, former NFL tight end, and the brother of Matt Hasselbeck, who was also a Boston College quarterback.
That's right. I played against his brother.
Look at Tim's numbers coming in. 5 of 6 in the passing department. His first play is a play fake and a rollout. Hasselbeck being chased, fires, and passes caught by his tight end, Tardio, shoved out of bounds at the 39 of Miami. Make it number 11, Anthony DeCosmo. DeCosmo on the reception for a pickup of nearly 20.
Yeah, and as you said, Frank, earlier, DeCosmo in his 15th year at Boston College.
He seems like one of those career students.
Yeah, he's been around a long time, and he's been productive for a long time for Boston College. You see him coming all the way across the formation, all the way across the field to have enough concentration to catch the football and pay the price on the Miami sideline.
Nick Ward shoved him out of bounds. 1st down for the Eagles, just past their 38. Cedric Washington with the football. Trying to turn the corner, gets around Stinson. Washington did have a nice game, and he's shoved out by Chris Campbell in Miami territory at the 44-yard line. So one of the few times tonight that Boston College has been able to turn the corner, albeit against the Miami 2nd unit defense that's in there right now.
It's the first time that they've been able to use their speed in the backfield to get to the outside. Miami on defense, when they have that first unit in, they're very quick and aggressive at that linebacker position, and they do a great job going sideline to sideline.
Part of the 32,917 here on Halloween night, as BC now goes with 3 wide receivers, and Hasselbeck operates out of the shotgun. Hasselbeck with time, over the middle, pass is deflected and nearly picked off by Popovich. Intended receiver number 86, another backup tight end, Brian Arndt. And with 3:54 left to go in the 4th quarter, it's a 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Tom O'Brien. And John, you told me before the game he actually recruited you out of high school.
Yeah, when he was at the University of Virginia, he was the offensive coordinator there, and he's a great guy to play for, I would imagine. I didn't get to play for him, got to talk with him a bunch, and just a super guy, and he's at a great institution.
On 2nd and 10, the delay to Washington. Washington again turns the corner, and Washington has 1st down yardage before James Sutton makes the tackle at the Miami 29-yard line. Brian Stinson getting pinned on the inside, enabling Cedric Washington to turn the corner.
Cedric showing some speed to the outside in the last couple of runs. He tried to do that in the first half, but he was unsuccessful. He's only 5'10", 197 pounds. He's a sophomore, but take a look right here, the explosion right there. Once he plants his right foot and goes outside, he uses his speed and gets to the outside, right past Brian Stinson, number 95.
1st down for Boston College at the Miami 28. Birch, the fullback, in motion. Give to Washington, runs into Javon Rhodes, and Rhodes brings him down for a loss. That time, good penetration off the corner by the Miami defense.
Yeah, nice pressure on the outside there, the left side of the defense by number 50, Javon Rhodes. Actually blocked into the backfield, and then he said, I'm here anyway, I might as well make the tackle, and he did a nice job.
Loss is 3. Bring up a 2nd and 13 for Boston College with 3:23 to go in the football game. 3 wide receivers in the formation. Tim Hasselbeck, the quarterback. 3-step drive. Over the middle, incomplete, as he was going for number 14, Dedrick DeWalt. And that brings us down to 3:08 left to go, and a 3rd and long upcoming for Boston College. With a victory tonight, Miami will move to 5-2 overall, 3-1 in the Big East Conference. Boston College will suffer their 5th consecutive loss after a 3-0 start. and an impressive win at Georgia Tech to open the season. Then victories over Temple and Rutgers. But since then, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Navy, and now Miami will hang one up in the loss column. 3rd and long for the Eagles. Hasselbeck, straight drop. Now having to move around. Chased by Lawson. Hasselbeck still has it. Fires complete to Washington down inside the 15-yard line, and that'll be a Boston College first down.
Boy, Michael Lawson thought he had Hasselbeck dead in his sights, and he was running him to the Miami sideline. Had a great opportunity to catch him, but nice quick feet by Tim Hasselbeck. He found a receiver down the field. It was just an athletic play just to get away from Lawson. He gets rid of him, he falls down, then he sets his feet, gathers himself, and throws it down the field, throws a rope down the Miami sidelines and finds a Boston College receiver down the field. Cedric Washington on the reception.
Chevin Marshall had pretty good coverage. This is Washington from the 14, and Marshall drops in after a gain of about 2 yards. 2:49 left to go, fourth quarter. Hurricanes with a 35-10 lead, and Boston College trying to get a consolation touchdown against the Hurricanes second unit defense, which the Miami first team defense did an outstanding job on Mike Cloud tonight.
They were very solid against the run, and Miami did exactly what they needed to do in this ball game. It's a 3-part plan. They have 3 ball games that they should win, and they came out tonight and were dominant against Boston College.
2nd and 8 from the Miami 11. Hasselbeck to throw it. Hasselbeck stepping back, throwing deep, and that's going to be way out of the end zone.
Yeah, just threw it away. Really, the tight end didn't come out to the short side, and there's a flag in the middle of the football field.
And one of the Boston College players
didn't
kicks
like
the flag.
It might be on him. Might be on number 75.
It is holding against BC, and they'll march it back from the 14-yard line of Miami.
He's lucky he didn't get flagged for that.
That's true. But the officials say, hey, it's Halloween.
That's right. Game's
kind
of out of hand.
Go.
That's right.
Holding offense, 10 yards, assessed in the spot of the foul, remains 2nd down.
Mark Colombo, number 75, didn't think he was holding, kind of disagreed with the officials and booted the flag about 5 or 10. Wasn't a bad kick.
Not bad at all. 2:14 left to go. It's Miami 35, Boston College 10. The penalty moves it back to the 24-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Hasselbeck looking to throw it. Swings it out of the backfield for Washington inside the 20 and upended there by Nick Ward down to the 15-yard line. Gain is 9. That'll bring up a 3rd down for Boston College, and they need to get to the Miami near the 3-yard line to pick up a first down.
Cedric Washington, he's been the man in the 4th quarter against his second-team Miami defense, but he was tired of making moves on the outside. He said, I'm tired of making moves. I'm just going to try to run over Nick Ward, and Nick stood his ground and did a nice job on the outside.
3rd down and 12 for Boston College. Out of the standardized set. There's the pitch to Washington.
Could be a throw.
Yeah. Washington to the end zone, wide open, and a touchdown to Dedrick DeWalt.
Number 35, Cedric Washington, shows us he can run the football, and now he throws it on a halfback pass to the right side, finds DeWalt in the back of the end zone for the Boston College touchdown.
Another look from the end zone view.
We could see up here it was clearly going to be a pass the whole time, but Mike Rump really lost his ground. He went into coverage and looked like he thought the wide receiver DeWalt went to the inside. He broke back to the outside and really was in a bad situation. Caught in limbo. Mike Rump, really, the ball going over his head. Boston College, nice play call.
With 1:30 to go. The extra point from Matic is good. And it's 35-17, Miami in the lead. And Mike Rump, the freshman cornerback, getting burned on that. I mean, he was in no man's land there, and that's something he'll learn. If you're not going to come up and try and force the play, then find somebody to cover.
That's right. He looked like he passed off the wide receiver to the inside and then looked at the back, but clearly it wasn't that great of an acting job by Cedric Washington. Just heaves it into the end zone, and watch the reaction. He feels like he's a quarterback now. He takes a look, tucks it under his arm, tries to find the strings, and then lets it rip to the back of the end zone. A wide open Dedrick DeWalt, number 14, for the easy touchdown. Watch this thing. Watch this reaction here. Now he gets up. I don't feel any pain anymore. I get my first touchdown pass.
Yeah, really, he didn't sell it very well on the run, and that's what you say to Mike Rump. Boy, if you're fooled by that, then you do have a lot to learn as a freshman.
No awards going to Cedric Washington.
Mike Rumpf will take that, put it in his pocket, and learn from it, hopefully.
I thought he played well coming back this week after learning a lesson against West Virginia. He was playing a lot of soft zone by design last week by the coaches, but he did a good job coming and challenging the BC wide receivers tonight.
So Miami puts the good hands team, anticipating the onside kick from Boston College. And John Matich will tee it up at the 35-yard line. Miami with wide receivers, running backs, defensive backs in the game. BC in their standard kickoff formation. We'll see if they shift it. A minute 30 to go at the Orange Bowl. Halloween night, and the Hurricanes up 35-17. Now they shift over to the right, Matich, and he'll kick it deep. And he's going to kick it into the end zone and out of the end zone, and Miami will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line with a minute and 30 to go. And Kenny Kelly will bring the Hurricane offense on the field. So Tom O'Brien opting not to go for the onside kick.
Yeah, and I think Kenny Kelly will just come out, maybe run one offensive play on the ground, and then let it turn down and really turn into a Miami victory. They needed to come out and play impressively in that first quarter. They took away the game right away in the first half from Boston College, and they did it with the impressive play of Edgerrin James and Scott Covington and that offensive line doing a terrific job.
Miami with the second unit offensive line in there, with the exception of the right tackle, Joaquin Gonzalez, who is the starter. Here's the give to Davenport. Davenport trying to move the pile. And he'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards before the BC defense brings him down. And Scott Covington will take a win to the locker room. His numbers, very efficient. 17 of 27, 212 yards, a touchdown, and maybe his only really poorly thrown ball, the interception.
Yeah, and you can forgive that because he really did a good job moving the football team when they needed to. Scott Covington has done it all year. You know, you can't say enough good things about the way he's played. And he hasn't had a whole lot of experience coming into the season playing football, but he's watched a lot. You can tell he's letting it show out on the football field.
Under a minute to play. Gain was 4 from Davenport on the last play. Najee will get another try. Davenport to the outside. Davenport across the 30, 35-yard line. And Miami will have a first down, and then Kenny Kelly can take one kneel down, and this thing will be in the books. Well, John, a very nice performance by the Hurricanes. They worried about a letdown this week coming off that big win against West Virginia a week ago, but certainly they came out in the first quarter like gangbusters, put up 21 points, and the game was never really in doubt after that.
I think the Miami Hurricanes, they've raised the bar of what their expectations are offensively, defensively, and special teams. I thought they did a nice job offensively right away coming out, dominating Boston College, and then defensively really shutting down Mike Cloud. That's been the story for Boston College. They took that equation out of the game, and the rest is history.
And one more time, Najee Davenport will bust through the line and get up to the 45-yard line. So Najee pads his numbers a little bit as he picked up about 9 yards, and we are down under 5 seconds, and that'll be it. Miami will move to 5-2 with a 35-17, very business-like victory over the Boston College Eagles as Butch Davis and Tom O'Brien will shake hands at midfield. O'Brien suffering his 5th consecutive loss, and Butch Davis's team staying on track. What they're looking for is 7 victories going into that BC-UCLA tandem at the end of the season, and that would get him into a bowl game. And as I said earlier, then you can let it hang out against Syracuse and UCLA, not play tight, play to win the game rather than play not to lose. And the Hurricanes take care of business tonight at the Orange Bowl. John and I will be back in just a minute. We'll wrap it up from the OB on Halloween night right after this on Sports Channel.
If you're considering natural hair restoration, remember, Bosley Medical Doctors have performed over 100,000 hair restoration procedures, more than any other group in the world.
Some of these transplants are 19, 20 years old, and they're growing just as strong today as they did in the beginning.
I will never have a hairline any higher than what you see now, ever. And that feels pretty good.
All I would have left up here, right now, without the transplants, would be light hairs. Everything else is transplanted.
We've developed these new ultrafine microtechnologies. That means we can do up to 1,000 or 1,200 micrographs at a time. This makes a much more natural and unobtrusive appearance with our final result.
Simply call the number on your screen for your free information and schedule your free private consultation. Find out for yourself how these remarkable procedures can give you a new head of hair and a whole new outlook on life.
Kicking off Sports Channel's impressive lineup of football coverage every Sunday is Dolphins Magazine. Take an in-depth look at the Dolphins' opponent and game plan. Dolphins Magazine every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. on Sports Channel's Sunday Morning Playbook. Sunday Morning NFL isn't your regular Sunday sports desk. It's your source for information about Florida's 3 NFL teams. Sunday Morning NFL every Sunday on Sports Channel. Brought to you in part by Health South.
University of Miami football on Sports Channel is being brought to you in part by Heineken, brewed the same way since 1886. By Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By the Cleveland Clinic, every life deserves world-class care. By Clean Shower, you'll never clean your shower again, and the people at Clean Shower guarantee it. By Office Depot, business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense. And by your South Florida Ford dealers, you can't afford not to drive a Ford. It's a happy Halloween for the Miami Hurricanes and their followers as Miami racks up a 35-17 win over the Boston College Eagles, jumping out to a 21-0 lead and never headed after that. Frank Fort and John Congemi here at the Orange Bowl, and John, a very efficient, workmanlike performance by the Hurricanes as they scored the first 3 times they had the ball. They roll up 582 yards in total offense against 325 for Boston College, and 80 of that 325 came on that fourth quarter drive against the second unit defense. So a good job all around by Miami. They moved to 5-2, and as you mentioned, it's a 3-pronged thing. They had Boston College, they've got Temple, they've got Pittsburgh, 3 very winnable games. They do that, they go 7-2, and they can get in a bowl game and bounce back from last year.
Well, they're past one of those games. They've defeated Boston College 35-17. Now in 2 weeks, they take on Temple. They have to defeat them on the road and then get home on a Thursday night, play Pittsburgh. If they can get by those 3 games they should win. They've already won 1. That's something that's very positive to build on. Miami will get eligible to get into the bowl situation, and they're playing at a high level right now, much higher than the beginning of the season.
Certainly on offense, they're clicking right now. The running game was great, and that enabled the passing game to be very efficient. Scott Covington, his usual fine night, 17 out of 27, 212 yards. His 1 touchdown pass coming to Darryl Jones on a play where Miami intentionally moved Scott out of the pocket.
Scott was rock solid again, and he found Darryl Jones. Darryl Jones only had 5 catches coming into tonight's game on the season. Well, he equals that. He had 5 catches tonight for over 50 yards, close to 56 yards to be exact. He had a nice evening. The offensive line did a great job providing running room for Edgerrin James in the defense. They held Mike Cloud to 20 attempts, 75 yards. That's a guy that was averaging close to 164 yards a game. So they did a great job on the defensive side of the ball.
Against the second leading rusher in the country, defensive coordinator Bill Miller will take those 75 yards from Mike Cloud. He'll take that to the bank every single day of the week. Thanks for joining us here at the Orange Bowl. You can catch more University of Miami football on Sports Channel Saturday, November 14th at 11:30 p.m. when the Hurricanes travel to Philadelphia to battle the Temple Owls. Football fans, don't miss Sports Channel's Sunday morning playbook. It kicks off at 8:30 with Dolphins Magazine, followed by the Tom Coughlin Show at 9 o'clock, the Jimmy Johnson Show at 9:30, and then at 10, an hour and a half of in-depth NFL pregame coverage on Sunday Morning NFL. That's all right here on Sports Channel. For my broadcast partner and future member of the PGA Senior Tour, John Congemi, I'm Frank Fort, saying goodbye. Once again, the final score, Miami 35, Boston College 17. Happy Halloween, everyone.